in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told them all that I will soon. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom.
Watch him pull it down.
I'm in a whip, so I got a zoom. They tryna talk, they not in a room. I was so low, but I'm back on the
Pull it
rise,
back,
red.
throw in the end zone, got a man. Caught,
Hop in the car,
touchdown,
watch it
King.
go vroom, vroom. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom. I'm hopping now, now I gotta go. I'm looking back, they not even close. I had a 4, now I need a ghost. I got a wave like I'm on the coast. Same ones a doubt and I dare the strip. I cannot wait, watch how I get it and flip. This is how I'm doing this shit that I'm going. Just how I'm doing this shit that I'm going. Hey, just how I'm doing this shit that I'm going.
You're looking live inside Ford Field, home of the Detroit Lions, but today it's home of the city championships. And with one game in the books, with Detroit Central falling to Detroit Denby, we're set for Detroit King and Detroit Cass Tech. He's Sam Stick Day. My name is Chad Bush. Kara Wolfbauer alongside will be with us shortly. What a dandy, and a rematch of Week 4 stick, and a tight ball game, and a game that saw another team come from behind to win it, and a dandy in Detroit at King High School.
Yeah, and anytime you say Cass versus King, I get a smile on my face. This is literally what public school football in Detroit is all about. These two schools are the very, very top echelon of it.
Whenever we get to watch them match up against each other, it is a special moment. Even the last game, it was low scoring, but lots of turnovers, 5 total turnovers. Corey Sadler, one of my favorite players that I've seen come out in the past couple years, had a big impact on that game. We'll focus on him a little bit later, but King is always that predominantly strong program too. It was a defensive battle last time. We'll see how each of these teams have grown throughout the season and what they can bring to the plate tonight.
A lot more at stake tonight for King. It's almost win or go home. It's almost a must-win situation for the playoffs just to get in. Both teams started the season 0-2. It's been a 5-game win streak for Cass Tech, 3-game win streak for King. King might need this thing a little bit more to stay around in the tournament or just to get in.
Yeah, but, that's just kind of what King does. You know they're going to be in the mix every single year. And so far this season, you've seen them progressively get better and better and better. And the same thing with Cass Tech. That's why I'm so excited to be here at Ford Field. Beautiful setting for this game. It has to be on the biggest stage. It's Cass versus King.
We talked to both coaches. Those interviews coming up right after this. This is Gridiron Game Day. Getting set for Cass Tech and King. The city championship is upon us. Marvin Rushing, good enough to join us before this ball game. Coach, congratulations on the run you're on. Started with the King win back in Week 4, and it's just continued on. I know you expected quite a bit of this group. Are they starting to live up to the expectations?
Yeah, I think right now, with being young, 7 or 8 seniors right now to this start, we knew we'd have some growing pains, didn't expect to have the stumbles coming out the gate. But I think now our process is really starting to set in. The confidence is setting in. I think that was part of the problem at the beginning. I don't think some of these guys understood how good they are and the possibilities that present themselves if they put the right work in. So right now, rubber's starting to meet the road, and we're starting to get to where we felt we would be.
A come-from-behind win in the first matchup against the rival King. We saw a 2-quarterback system that day. We saw number 1 emerge as, of course, the top playmaker that day. Do you still have the same system in place, and how is that rotation going for you?
Well, yeah, the same system is in place because, quite honestly, both kids present a different skill set. Playing Seth Sindri allows us to split out one of the most dynamic playmakers in the country, Corey Sadler Jr., to other positions. They both honestly have been doing a fantastic job trying to lead the team and out here grinding and everything. So we definitely are using 2 quarterbacks.
You got some maulers up front too, and a nice mix of some youth with a little bit of senior leadership. How is the run game coming along, and who's emerged there as the top ball carrier behind those big offensive linemen?
Well, thanks in large part to our senior Jalen Washington, the only senior on the offensive line. I mean, he's a road grader. He's a mauler. He's really been playing nasty, which I absolutely love. But right now it's really running back by committee. It's really we're playing the hot hand, whereas Damari Hendricks, whereas Jalen Spade, whereas Carson Lovett, and the guy who's probably been used the least, but that's probably the most physical is Cameron Summerhour. So we're just going to ride the hand that we think deserves to be in there based on the competition we have in practice.
Leadership always on a young team important. Where are you seeing that, and how has that developed as the year has gone on?
Well, the three guys jump out that are older guys: Jalen Washington, Amir Thomas, and Noah Bishop. They've really set the standard. But really, where I saw the biggest rise from the young guys is Corey Sadler Jr. I mean, the guy is competitive. He's relentless. He's speaking up. He's taking ownership right now. He's setting the stage of what needs to happen for us to have the success we expect at Cass Tech.
This rivalry is intense. You were a part of it as a player. You're a part of it as a coach, as an assistant, and now a head coach. What's it like for you? What is King Week like the second time around after you've already gathered a win?
Well, this one is about humbleness, because week 4, the first round, we throw out. I said, hey, that game could have went either round, either way. They feel like they could win. We felt like we should have had a little more success. So right now, like I talked about yesterday, that I'm quite certain in their circles last year, they probably felt the first game was a predictor of the second game, which we didn't feel was the case. So we had a lot of conversations about being humble. The process is what got us the victory that day. If we get away from the process, then quite honestly, we're not going to have the success. So the one beautiful thing about King Week, you kind of know where you're at based on the chippiness in practice. It's been chippy. Quite sure like it's the same way over there. That's the standard come King Week. And if you're not made for this, you're not made for Cass Tech football.
Ford Field's made for speed, and you've got some of that. How excited are you to see your team on that turf?
Well, one of the things we push the kids here for, if they love football, then the expectation is to play on Sunday. So if you don't see yourself playing on Sunday, we don't want you. So you get an opportunity to play where the best in the business play, Ford Field. So that's a heck of a opportunity for them. So I want them to be able to see and project where they're trying to take themselves. Honestly, we're happy to be on a perfect surface. You have no worries about rain, wind, snow, whatever happens this time of year. So we're looking forward to it. Thank Dr. Vitti, Jay Alexander, and all the sponsors, Zenith included, that allowed this opportunity to come to the city of Detroit.
If Cass Tech is to sweep the City Series for the first time since 2020, what is going to have to happen?
Number one is the most disciplined physical team is going to win. The most disciplined physical team is going to win. I talked to the kids the other day. I said, hey, if there was a college program we'd want to pride ourselves after, who would that be? Some of the kids got the answer right. That was the University of Michigan. 1 penalty in 2 weeks. That's phenomenal at the level of the competition they're playing, that big-time ball. And it speaks volumes for what Coach Harbaugh and his coaches are doing, but also the buy-in from the players. So that's what we're looking to be physical, be fast. If you make a mistake, you're full speed, 100%. But at the end of the day, we got to be disciplined. We got to be mindful of what we're trying to accomplish long-term, not just on Friday.
5-game win streak headed into the city championship. That's coming up next on Gridiron Game Day. Thanks so much, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right. There he is. We're back with more on Gridiron Game Days. We roll on from Ford Field right after this. Welcome back to Gridiron Game Day, getting set for King and Cass. We're here with the head coach in his 8th year, Ty Spencer. This season so far, it's been a season of runs and a challenging schedule. You've shied away from no one. And today you don't shy away from your opponent either, Cass Tech. Talk about this schedule this year and getting your team prepared to get to this point in your preparation.
Yeah, I think every year we try to play some of the top teams in the Midwest or just even in Michigan so we can be prepared for the latter part of the season. And so that's kind of what we're going through now. Some adversity here and there, but we climbed out of it, and now we're peaking, and we just want to make sure that we continue to get this run going this Friday.
3 straight wins for the Crusaders. This is a team in Cass Tech that you had a lead on at halftime, 7-0 in the first matchup. I'm sure you've gone back, looked at things, mixed up things a bit, but I guess the biggest takeaway is you have a different quarterback this time around than you had last time.
Yeah, Daryl Flemster, man, he's doing a great job for us, just really commanding the offense and putting us in the right sets, and he's done a remarkable job. So love the way he's been playing and his playmaking ability.
This is a new position, of course, the quarterback, having a freshman quarterback. You've got a young team, a couple of running backs as well to go with it. Let's stay on the offensive side. You must feel excited having the future ahead with a lot of talent, especially on the offensive side.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of young boys up front on the line with Jameer Henry, Trevor Dureed, those guys are freshmen. And then Tashawn Lund, he's a junior. So those guys come back. But then, like you said, with the running back situation, Michael Dukes, sophomore, has been really good for us, and Josh Rogers. And then even Tayshawn Henry, he comes back. He'll be a junior. So those guys are people that we're leaning on, and, they'll make some plays for us. I know Tayshawn had the touchdown that had us in the lead last time we played Cass.
On the defensive side, you have a little bit more leadership, a bit more veteran group, and some guys that we saw really stand up in the Cass Tech game. But you get a guy back in Willie Fletcher, one of your veterans who's also can make an impact in this contest. What's it like having Willie back along with Eggleston, the Eastern Michigan commit?
Yeah, it's good to have Willie back because, he's a guy that's played in this game. He has experience. He's made plays in this game, and I think he wants to go ahead and put his stamp on it for this season. And so, really, really good to get him. He plays a lot of different positions for us, so we're excited about that.
What's it like the second go-around playing Cass versus the first? And everybody makes adjustments, but is it a challenge to keep the energy level up the second go-around as it was the first time?
I think the hardest part about it, to me, is more so when you win the first match. When you lose the first match, you don't have to, really get them going. They know, like, hey, we need to win this game. We lost last time. But, last year when we won, I think the second game we came out laxed. And so that's the challenge as a coach, is just to keep your guys engaged and keep them, just keep them hungry. And so that's the whole part that's hard for us.
What's your thoughts on your rival, Cass Tech, rivalry game you've played in and coached in? What do you think about with Cass Tech, this year's team, and then, of course, as a school?
Yeah, I just think, man, like, honestly, it's really good for our city just because it's really good football. You got two of the best schools in our area playing each other at Ford Field, man, and it gets no better than that. As far as the rivalry goes, it's something that, you want to win all the time. Like, playoffs or not, like, you want to beat your rival. Like, we want to beat Cass. I'm pretty sure they want to beat King. And so it's going to always be like that. It's been like that forever. And, we just have to continue to do our part and just play mistake-free football, and hopefully we can get that victory.
Thanks so much for taking time. All the best tonight and throughout the rest of your season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's Ty Spencer. This is Gridiron Game Day as we roll on from Ford Field. It's King, it's Cass, and it's coming up next right here on The Prep.
Every morning when I rise, my dream lives in me. This is my kingdom, a wonder world that's always changing, where great champions stand victorious. Here, we celebrate what makes us different. We share our creativity, and we grow stronger, preparing for the world we will make together.
I am.
I am.
I am one of Detroit's next legends. It's our time to rise.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
Four wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut. All right, getting ready for the Gold Division Championship. Excuse me, the Gold Division Champion's been settled. 29-28, the Tars of Detroit-Denby won it. We're looking for the Blue Division Championship. Chad and Stick back with you. High above Ford Field. Alex Westfall, your executive producer. We'll get to Kara Wolfbauer in a moment. First, let's get to the impact players. Stick, who do you got for King who's going to make the impact on both sides?
Well, for Martin Luther King, I mean, it's kind of the same thing that we had in week 4. You got Daryl Flemister is the man right there, quarterback number 10. He's coming along, right? He's been a freshman. They put him in the position. He's filling in for some big shoes that have left, but he's done a great job this season. And then the linebacker, you're going to love to watch this guy play. Big, physical, fast, quick to the ball, a ball hawk. He's the kind of your prototypical linebacker if you were to make one. And then you flip on over to Cass Tech, and you're going to see, the man, the myth, the legend, only a sophomore, Mr. Number 1, Corey Sadler. You have him listed there as ATH. That's not a position. He's just an athlete. That's all that guy is an athlete. You'll see him at quarterback, wide receiver, running back, and then on defensive end, Noah Bishop is just a game wrecker. If you do not get a block on this guy, he is going to be crashing down on your quarterback all game long. So I'm looking forward to these matchups, and it is going to be a fun one. And the kickoff is underway here at Ford Field.
Terrence Moore boots it away. Cass to receive it and spilled at the 32-yard line. Tackle by number 36 for King. That's Michael Job, the middle linebacker. And here we go. This is the Cass Tech Technicians on a 5-game win streak. Tough schedules both ways. And we know that it's been a 2-quarterback system stick. We've seen Corey Sadler, but we've also seen Seth Sendry, which gives them an opportunity to move Corey Sadler out. What can we expect to see from the Cass Tech offense tonight?
Well, the first game was kind of a defensive battle, only 14-7. Both teams had their struggles getting it going. You got to protect the ball this evening. But Corey Sadler, you want to see him get on the edge. You want to see him use his athleticism, and Cass Tech does a good job of that.
We'll see a few different running backs, Hendricks, Spate, Lovett, Summerhour. And this is to the guy that's been really explosive, Jalen Spates, and he's got just a couple-yard gain before the big smack by the Eastern Michigan commit, Eggleston Jr.
Yeah, Eggleston just coming in and actually filling this hole and becoming a wall. I mean, you had momentum going into that run, but it came to a halt in a hurry.
Spate, sort of that explosive runner. We'll see Hendricks, the freshman, in there as well, along with Lovett. Summerhour might get some carries. Right now it's Hendricks to the right of the quarterback, Corey Sadler Jr. And it's a handoff to the rookie, Hendricks, and he's got a few. And it's going to be 3rd and mid. Jaden Wyndham coming up from that safety spot to make a play. We called his name quite a bit, Stick, in that first matchup in week 4.
Yeah, and once again, just to speak to the young talent that King has, he's only a sophomore, and you see him coming in and laying the lumber from that safety position, and that's what he'll do all game long.
So 3rd down and mid for Cass Tech. Dave Malecki is their offensive coordinator. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Hendricks in the gun to the right of Sadler, the quarterback. Looking right, nowhere to go. Sadler going to run it, and he's not going to have the first down. Stopped by Wyndham again with a little help from his buddy Xavier Newsom, the star defensive end, and it's punting time for the Technicians.
You see a flag coming here late. Looks like an unsportsmanlike, but there's Sadler just trying to use his athleticism and get through the pocket, but a great job there by King, turning him back to the inside and to the strength of their defense.
So it'll be punting time, or so you would think. We'll wait for the official call here. It is unsportsmanlike, and this certainly will draw for a Cass Tech punt. While we've got a moment, let's go down on the field to Kara Wolfbauer. Kara, take it away.
Thanks, Chad. Once again, back for another City PSL Championship game right here at Ford Field. Once again, we're seeing another Week 4 matchup as Cass Tech beat King 14-7 just a few weeks back. But now, heading into this game tonight, I got to talk to Coach Dawson, the O-line coach from Cass Tech. He said his boys are fresher and ready to go, ready than ever. This past Thursday, he said the most physical practice he's ever seen these boys had. Also got to talk to Coach from King, and he said the same thing, except that he just needs to focus on his boys. They don't need to focus on what Cass Tech is doing. Only King and what King needs to do to produce this game. Chad?
Thank you very much, Kara. Yeah, both guys look ready. George Sanchez Murillo is the punter and the kicker, and he's out there in punt formation. Yeah, good note from Kara. I mean, look, both these teams, and we heard the offensive line coach. He's a notable one. We heard from Marvin Rushing speaking so highly about his offensive line coach and assistant head coach Dave Dawson.
Yeah, and you could speak highly about everybody at almost every position level for both of these programs. Like we talked about in the pregame, they're the top echelon of the public school league. That's why they're competing against each other in this championship game often.
Yes, sir. So they're going to move the ball up a bit. They'll move it to about the 25 and the 27, call it. Ellington is back deep for King. 3 and out for the Technicians on their opening drive. Last year it was King winning the first matchup, and it was Cass Tech coming back to win the city title at Wayne State. Low snap. George gets it off. It's a sidewinder. And it's going to be picked up by Ellington at the 47. Across midfield, and he's up to the 42. It's a gain of about 11 on the return. And it's fine field position for the King offense, for which we'll see a new quarterback in the rookie Daryl Flemister.
Yeah, Flemister, he's kind of been the guy that's been handed the keys to the castle. And, when you're a freshman quarterback starting at King, especially in a championship game, there's a lot expected of you, but he has shown every inclination that he can rise to the occasion.
There you see him, promising freshman, and a guy that's taken over the reins since a couple weeks ago from Nathan Edwards. Edwards has remained the punter. So here we go, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Flemister throws flat, right side, and it's a tackle for loss. Going nowhere in a hurry was Miles Matlock, tackled by Marcus Jennings, the safety.
Yeah, Marcus Jennings just flies up from that cornerback position and closes, and just waited for some help from his friends, and that was a big gang tackle behind the line of scrimmage for a tackle for loss.
Jamar Davis was the receiver there. 4 wide receiver set. Handoff to this plethora of running backs, and again, nowhere to go. Michael Dukes, who's the bigger back, and always makes that first guy miss. Guess what? Didn't make that first guy miss this time. Fine play by the defense in number big 52, Gavin Fernandez.
Yeah, Gavin makes the play, and then you got Marvin McCullum coming up in here and closing it out right there, just pushing the big dog back. And so far, defense has been stout on both sides of the ball.
Marvin McCullough, that middle linebacker. So 3rd down and 12 from the Cass Tech 43. Opening drive for King. Technicians back out. No blitz. Flemister wants to throw deep. Got a man caught inside the 5. Incomplete. But he was pushed out of bounds. They were trying to get the target, Deontay Ellington. He caught it out of bounds, but it's PI. 15 yards, move the chains.
And not your typical pass interference here, because they really didn't interfere with the pass, but he pushed him out of bounds right about there, and that's what caused that pass to be completed out of bounds.
Now, the one part about it, Stick, is that Ellington ran out of bounds first, and so he's not eligible to come back and touch the ball anyway first.
But since he was out of bounds, that doesn't count as an inbound catch, so it kind of nullifies it.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting, too, because if he doesn't commit pass interference that's caught in bounds, the play's over anyways.
Right, flags on him. Handoff inside, it's the 22 Michael Dukes, and the sophomore jitters his way forward for about 3 off left side before he's tackled by number 20. That's Marvin McCallum, their leading linebacker.
Yeah, Marvin McCallum, we've already called his name a couple times, making some big plays in this game. And this is fast and furious with these two teams going at it.
Yes, sir. Dukes will stay in to the left of the freshman quarterback, Flemister. Gonna keep it himself up the left side. 10, cuts out. Touchdown, rookie. It's Flemister who hushes the crowd. Touchdown, King. 25-yard touchdown run for the first-year signal caller and the 15-year-old Flemister, who's come on in reserve.
Yeah, watch this juke move right there. Big number 52 for Cass Tech. Has a shot in the backfield, but Gavin Fernandez, that looked like a basketball crossover, got shaken to his knees. And what a run by the freshman, and a great cutback right there, too.
You see all the tools. You're right. The cutback, the vision, and the confidence to turn it up. Extra point is up, and the extra point is good. So, extra point by Terrence Moore. It's 7-0 King over Cass. And again, a long third down converted for 6.
Well, you know Martin Luther King has been sitting on that loss for, what are we, about 8 weeks now? 6 weeks? 4 weeks ago? Whatever it is, a month goes by, and you want revenge, right? You want this game, especially for the championship. And they come out with their new freshman quarterback firing on all cylinders.
We saw Flemister get a carry in that game back on the 15th of September, but it was out of that slot. And how about it? King scores on their first drive, converting on a 3rd down and 12. So a 4-play drive, 41 yards. It took 1 minute and 52 seconds. Darrell Flemister III on a quarterback keeper from 25 yards out. And with 7:53 to go, the extra point by Terrence Moore is good. 7-0 King.
Well, I'm sure that's exactly how Coach drew it up. Ty Spencer, has his team prepared. And those are those scripted plays that you come out with on that first drive. And I think they got everything they wanted and saw everything that they wanted to see.
So here we go. Technicians with a return. And it's taken by Lamont Wilcoxon, the junior, but tackled by Wheeler, the linebacker, the sophomore reserve. So here we go. Will we see Seth Sendry? Is this a point where you start to make a move and get Corey Sadler out there? That's where things really started to tick at times in the first half against King in the Week 4 matchup.
Yeah, I don't know what their game plan was coming into this game. I think it's too early to get off that game plan, whatever it is. So if your game plan was to continue with Corey Sadler right now, you do that. If your game plan was to get off of it, then you do that too. But I wouldn't change anything just because of one quick score.
It's a young team as Sadler stays in there. Just 7 seniors on the roster, 2 senior starters. This give is to Hendricks, and the freshman tailback at 5'5", $150, gains just a yard. We'll meet the starting lineup for Cass Tech. We've got a scoring update. We've got a game going on in Orchard Lake. Let's meet the offensive starters first and the O-line. Khalif Canty, a good one, a junior, up there at left tackle. Justin Wilson is the left guard. Jelani Walker is the center. Washington the right guard. And Evan Gooden is the right tackle. The backs and receivers, you see Hendricks. Shivers is back tonight at wide receiver with Sykes, Graves, and Victor Polk, the talented tight end. There's a dump pass, and it is dropped. Probably wouldn't have been for a whole lot, but it's off the fingertips. A number 5 Polk, incomplete.
I'll say this, Martin Luther King has come out so far in this game and they have looked prepared. They have looked ready, and they have looked like they know kind of exactly what Cass is going to try to do to them. And you cannot help out a Martin Luther King team by a drop like that.
No, sir. It sets up a 3rd and long. 3 to the left, and they'll bring the wide receiver tight now. In at running back is Jalen Spates, the 5'6" junior. 3rd and long for Sadler, and it's going to get even longer. False start by the receiver up top. Jalen Howell.
And penalties played a part in the first game that these two teams played. I mean, Cass Tech had 8 penalties for 49 yards. Martin Luther King 6 penalties for 59 yards. But it was really more about the timeliness of those penalties, too.
That's it. Here's the defensive front for King. It's a good one. Newsom, Garrett, Washington, and Fletcher. Fletcher's back tonight. He missed the Week 4 battle. This is a Power 5 offered defensive end, and a good one. Sadler on a 3rd and 14 has all day. Throws left side, wide open and incomplete. Wide open. Nobody on that left side, and dropped by Cassius Shivers. That would have been a big play. There is a flag down, and we'll wait for the call.
Well, you got to give credit to Cass Tech's line there. Corey Sadler had all day long to just sit and evaluate and wait and wait and wait and wait. Okay, there's an open guy. Now I'm going to throw it to him. Unfortunately for him, just a bit high and dropped.
Man, it was on that King sideline, and Ty Spencer and that whole sideline took a big, deep breath. As you look at Eggleston, Dickerson, and Job, the backers, it is a penalty on King. It'll be a first down, it looks like. Or no, they'll get it closer to a first down, a 3rd and 4. DBs, Dooley, Freeman, Wyndham, and Stennis. Stennis and Dooley are the talented corners for that defense for the Crusaders. So, 3rd and 4 from the 37, much more manageable. Slot right is Jalen Howell. Watch him. 2 running backs as Sadler will come up to his center. Jeremiah Powers and have a word. Handoff inside, Summerauer, and he's stuffed. Xavier Newsome crossed through there and said, And George Murillo-Sanchez is going to have to boot this thing away again.
Oh, that's why that drop is so crucial right now. You know, you're getting a turnover on downs with Xavier Newsome playing the big fella type of football right here. Watch number 4 come in and just shed some blocks and then take on the running back by himself. Excellent defensive play by Newsome.
He's been really good. He's back healthy. Newsome missed a lot of time this year. Murillo-Sanchez to kick it away. Deontay Ellington is deep for King, and this one is blasted. Fine catch by Ellington at the 20, and he is going to be turned inside out, still on his feet, but down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Woo! Great coverage by Cass Tech.
Yeah, great coverage by Cass Tech, and great thought there by the King return man, but he kept fighting for negative yards. Just take a knee. Just go down. Just go down. It's okay. That is tough, tough sledding right there for King.
Tackle made by Jalen Howell. So here comes this King offense, an offense that scored on its first possession with their backs against the wall on a 3rd and long. We'll have an updated highlight from Orchard Lake in a moment with Brother Rice and St. Mary's.
Lots of highlights in that game so far.
Yeah. Daryl Flemister III, the freshman, is in. Had a touchdown in the opening drive, a 25-yard run. This one's a give off the right side. It's a short gain for number 22. That's Michael Dukes. 6'1", 183 sophomore with some size and with some ability to sidestep that first guy. It seems like he always makes a miss. You see that offensive line up front with Henry, Bradley Lewis, Powers, Stevens, and Tashawn Lunn. It's also a young team, but a much improved offense since the last meeting. Henry Johnson, who had a touchdown in that first meeting, Dukes, Matthews, and Davis in trouble here. And Damon Stennis, one of the leading receivers, is stuffed. This is a loss on the play, 3rd and long. Fine defensive play by the technician stick.
Yeah, I wanted to see who came up and made this tackle because he cleared it in the backfield. I didn't make the tackle, but definitely made the play. That's number 13, Will Sykes Jr., and that kind of just disrupted that whole play from getting started at all.
Sykes, a talented offensive player. There you see the backs and receivers again. Kayvon Matthews, Davis, and Stennis, a talented trio. They had to replace quite a bit. They lost Jameel Croft to Kansas and to graduation. Of course, the biggest loss was Dante Moore, the National Player of the Year. Baker, Howell, Fernandez, and Bishop up front. On a 3rd and 10, it's a draw, and there's nothing doing. Noah Bishop, whose stick highlighted in the open as the impact player, doesn't disappoint here, partner.
Yeah, not much impact, but one-handed just brings down the quarterback. That is some strength when all your momentum's flying one way and you're able to bring down the quarterback, especially from what we've seen out of their freshman quarterback and how elusive he is.
Fine adjustments that time by the Cass Tech defense to keep this thing at a 1-score advantage.
I mean, that 55-yard punt really changed some field position and really changed the tone of this game.
Cully Robinson, the defensive coordinator for Cass Tech. Here comes the punt from Nathan Edwards, the former quarterback. And he gets it end over end, and Sadler had a player fly over him. Ball looked like it came out. Sadler, meanwhile, stayed up. And then there's a late flag. Let's take another look at this one. Almost got blocked at that punt.
A lot going on here to unpack, Chad. Almost got blocked, stays down, lifts up, fights forward, ball gets ripped out. Player comes in late for the hit, number 51. So there's your 15 yards.
Right.
But it looks like that was a clean fumble and recovery by King.
It did. Ezekiel Bradley Lewis, an offensive lineman, with the late hit. And this is going to give Cass Tech a real nice starting field position deep into Crusader territory. Just get a look at Ty Spencer and that King staff. How about it? Back-to-back state champions are the King Crusaders. What an outstanding job their head coach Ty Spencer in his 8th year has done. 5 state titles he's been to in his short time at King.
Just a super talented coach and one of the nicest guys you'll ever get to talk to as well. We've had the pleasure of talking to him a couple times over these past years, and it just always you gain some knowledge about the game whenever you speak to him.
Yeah, a chess player, a guy that can play it. Seth Sendry is checked in at quarterback for Cass for the first time tonight. He'll hand off to the freshman Hendricks. Will try to barrel his way forward behind that offensive line. It's a big offensive line with Canty, Lane, Walker, Washington, and Gooden. It's a gain of about 1 on first down.
Yeah, Chauncey Freeman sticking his head in there and making a play, keeping it for a short gain on first down. And, you know, it is interesting how Cass Tech does kind of go through quarterbacks, you know. And there's that old adage, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have 1. But in this situation, it's a little bit different when you have such a supreme athlete that you can move outside.
It really is. Right now, Corey Sadler is near side, bottom of your screen. Ty Spencer, the head coach for King, said we got to know where number 1's at all times. Sendry knows where he's at. He's going to take off. He's going to run, and he's going to get down to the 13-yard line. It's a gain of about 6 for Sendry, not known for his wheels, but good awareness here. It's 3rd and short.
Yeah, you like that. He kept his head up, looking downfield the whole time. There was just nothing there. You got to give credit to the King defense on the back end. Their DBs covering for as long as they did. And just take the yards that are in front of you.
Now, Cass does have a kicking game. George Murillo Sanchez is one of the best kickers in school history for the Technicians. He's knocked home a 44-yarder already this year into the wind. That happened in the game's opening week against Southfield A&T.
And you can see King bracketing Corey Sadler right now, bringing down the safety to double coverage him. And that's what they said. You got to keep your eye on number 1 at all times.
Timeout on the field. Corey Sadler a bit frustrated down there. I think he wanted that play to get off quickly before the timeout. We've got an update in Orchard Lake. And Alex Westfall spinning the dials. St. Mary's with a big lead early in the second quarter, 34-0, and we've got highlights in game. And we'll go there shortly. Here's some highlights here. This was a pass from Jabin Gonzalez to the end zone to Zane Wilson for a touchdown. That made it 15-0. St. Mary's would come back with Trey Goike. That would make it 22-0.
They've just been piling it on ever since.
This is Darren Jones Jr., the transfer from Lake Orion, with a long touchdown run here. And the Eaglets are rolling over their rival, Brother Rice. We've got other scoring updates. A big one going on the KLAA. The right to play Belleville, number 1 Belleville next week, and it's Northville and Novi. That's a nasty rivalry. 14-7 Northville right now on top. We just may cover that Belleville winner of Northville Novi next week. All right, 3rd and 4 from the 14, and we've got a flag before it gets underway.
And that's frustrating, too, because it looks like Cass Tech had a little trick play up their sleeve there. A pitch back to Corey Sadler, who was pulling the ball up like he was going to throw, too. I would like to see how that play developed.
Or was that a bluff? Never know.
If it's a bluff and they were able to pull that off, that's quick on-the-spot thinking.
Sadler's a savvy dude.
Hey, he's fun to watch on the basketball court, too. You know, football, you can tell, is his sport. And on the basketball court, you can tell he's just an athlete out there using his effort as a defender and just getting into the lane. He's just been fun to watch since he was a freshman.
Already with a state title to his credit. In basketball, Steve Hall, the athletic director at Cass Tech, and the Technicians basketball team with a state title last year. Sendry with a pitch back to Sadler. He is looking back to Sendry, wide open, caught at the 5, makes a move, touchdown Technicians! Sadler to Sendry in a silky smooth move to get him into pay dirt.
I mean, you saw it happen on the last play. It looked like he was going to pull back and throw it, and the defense was like, okay, that play's out of there. You know, they were faking it, right, Chad? No. They come back and run it again. Corey Sadler. And this reminds you of a little Philly action from a couple years ago, which, by the way, the Lions ran that play earlier in the season, then Philly stole it from them, similar to what the 49ers did to the Lions this past weekend.
How about the move by Sendry to get in the zone? A little spin to go with it.
I like it.
Murillo Sanchez to tie it up, and somehow he got through traffic and scored it.
How did that ball get through?
I don't know. Sendry held it, kept it down, and Murillo Sanchez. Here's the play, though, that everybody wants to see against it.
Yeah, what a great route. Good call. Over pursuit by the defense right there, and a nice little cutback. And hit him with the ice wood. There you go.
It's a 19-yard touchdown reception. It's Sadler to Sendry. The two quarterbacks playing catch. 3 plays, 35 yards. 7 all your score. How about it? 2:11 to go in the first. Already a fantastic Friday night with a tight game to start out the Gold Division Championship with Denby knocking off Central. And here we go. There you see George. There you see Rushing. Marvin Rushing, excuse me. Is George Rushing, wasn't he a former footballer?
Sure.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, I agree.
Marvin Rushing.
Marvin Rushing is
great visit with him this week.
What an intense guy, man. If you leave that meeting with Marvin Rushing and you don't have energy and ready to attack the day and attack life, like, he is a life coach.
He is. A lot of fun to talk to both these coaches. So, offense so far, Cass Tech with 19 passing yards. Martin Luther King with -5. It's been a ground gain. Both teams with, it hasn't been nationally an offensive juggernaut. The defenses really have made the names early on.
Yeah, and that's what we saw in the first matchup. It only being 14-7 the final score. And one little play here and there can decide this whole thing.
2:11 to go.
Said it during the first game, but we have a whole new audience listening right now. Just the ambiance here at Ford Field and how just amazing it is to be in here, knowing all the intensity that's going on with the Lions, but this is where the Public School League Championship should be played. And we also mentioned about having people in the chat kind of give their score predictions, talk to people, have some fun, keep it clean in the chat, but we want to know who you're rooting for, who do you think is going to win, and what's your final score prediction.
All right.
I love when these guys get interacting with us in the chat, too.
We do. 640 live viewers right now. We appreciate it. And a great audience as well for the Denby-Detroit Central game. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate the support. Thanks to the PSL and Jay Alexander and Dr. Vitti for getting us here. The kickoff is down inside the 10. And taken upfield, this is Ellington, and he's in trouble again. How about it? Great coverage again by Will Sykes.
Yeah, Will Sykes is showing. He is he is on his game today, tracking down the return man right there, and that's just a great play.
Special teams and Cass Tech responding back. We got a update from Orchard Lake, and Jack Janda, the sophomore, Power 5 commits, rumbles into the end zone for a 13-yard touchdown catch. Gonzalez to Jack Janda. And right now, St. Mary's leads it 34-0 over Brother Rice. We'll also have scoring updates along the way from other games across this great state, but right now we've got a feast in front of us on a Friday night. Cass Tech stopping up front. That's Gavin Fernandez, who's been really stuffy up front tonight for the technicians.
And watch this, just one arm on the guy, slow him down, and watch big fella get up after this. He knows he made the play. He knows he made it. He flexes for the camera.
The film don't lie.
Nope.
So, here come the King Crusaders under offensive coordinator Terrell Patrick. Motion right to left, and another pre-snap penalty coming up.
Well, as we discussed, penalties are always a part of this Cass King game. And, you know, as a coach, you don't mind if they're aggressive penalties. It's penalties like this, the pre-snap ones, that really get on your nerves because these are preventable, right? If it's in the heat of the game, maybe push a guy, get a little whatever, that can happen as long as you're being aggressive.
No doubt. Here you see the linebackers, McCallum and Summerhour. Talented group in the middle. Sadler, Shivers, who's back tonight from injury. Derek Jackson, who we saw with an interception in the previous game in week 4. And Lamont Wilcoxon is one of the corners. There's a miscommunication there, and that's going to set up a 3rd and forever for Flemister in this King offense that's been stymied their last 2 drives by the technicians. What have they done differently defensively, Steve?
Well, it looks like they're just kind of staying home and playing their position. Now they realize that the quarterback is going to scramble, so, you know, you got to keep your eye on him. You know, I've seen him drop back a spy a couple times, but Gavin Fernandez right there put the pressure on. And, you know, we talk about how this is a rivalry and they pushing each other, but there you see Gavin Fernandez after a big play helping the other quarterback up. You know, that's the key to this rivalry.
Straight class. Run left side, needed 16. This is Michael Dukes the 3rd. And it's not going to be enough for the first down. It'll be 4th down and punting time again for King from their own deep end.
Well, that's one thing Marvin Rushing went out of his way to point out about, hey, listen, I know sometimes we have some jawing back and forth between Cass and King, but at the end of the day, it's about nothing but respect and about the public school league, and he just wanted to make sure everybody is aware that his respect for King is through the roof.
Yeah, it really was. When we talked to him, he talked about he wasn't super proud of the chaos before the last game and the teams kind of going at it. And it was clean, it was talk, but, you know, Marvin Rushing said, look, it's not something we pride ourselves on. Wasn't happy about it. Because then people think, well, we're not disciplined and whatnot, and we are. Corey Sadler catches it at his own 48 off the turf, has some room outside the numbers, on the move, and out of bounds to the 27-yard line. It just feels like Sadler's toying with the other players at times. This is no different.
His vision is just absolutely insane. There were 2 defenders that had outside leverage on him that could have turned it back in, but watch him slow down here, get his block, then cut back outside. That is, you can't teach that, right? Most guys can see, okay, there's another color jersey there, I got to run away from them, but not setting them up and then going to the outside. That's what makes him so special, and then you can't take an angle on him because he's so fast.
So much savviness and ability to cut on this turf in this field. I know you and I both talked. I mean, we're excited to watch these athletes on this surface. It was a bit of a slippery terrain, I think, last time. There was some weather. It's always fun to watch on this field. Players be players. There is a flag down and a flag out of nowhere. We shouldn't be surprised, but we are because we didn't see a flag on the field. Matt Schwartz saw it. The Schwarzenegger saw it. Nobody else. He didn't tell anybody, but he kept it to himself. And
Well, that's Schwartz.
that's the kind of player Schwartz is. The
Yeah.
former Wesleyan John Glenn. No, I kid. He's a team player through and through.
Hey, if you're on YouTube, look up video of Matt Schwartz playing football. It's on there.
It's out there. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back. This is the end of the first quarter. Second quarter action from downtown Detroit coming right back at you. We got a dandy tied at 7 aside.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss.
McKinley scores!
And welcome back to Gridiron Game Day. Once again, I'm Kara Wolfbauer on the sideline for you guys tonight. We've got a great one here as we're tied up 7-7 with Cass Tech and King. Now, we saw early on Daryl Flemister with the touchdown. We talked to Coach Tyrone Spencer earlier this week, and he even said that the boys have embraced him. He's a freshman, and he doesn't shy away from the moment. Yet, Cass Tech has not let it bother them so far. While walking up and down their sideline, what I've heard from each coach separately and heard them say over and over again to their boys, guys, it's a simple game. Slow down, embrace the moment, and don't let it get too big. Chad?
Yeah, great message and reminder, Kara Wolfbauer. The moment's big. The arena's huge. This is a pro facility, but mind yourself, stay composed, and make plays. And we're starting to see that out of both teams.
Yeah, listen, we're in Ford Field. It's a great place to play. It's still 100 yards. It's still the same dimensions. It's still the same game that you've been playing all season long. Don't let the bright lights, don't let the chaos get to you. Show up and play your game. And I think in the first quarter, both teams can say that they played their game. Look at that beautiful shot of Ford Field. Great work by our camera crew.
A great crew it is. Neither team has more than 34 yards of offense, that said. The defenses have sort of stolen the headline. We saw the first drive of the night for King, result in a touchdown, and Cass answers right back.
And Cass going back to putting Corey Sadler as their quarterback after that successful last drive.
Both teams have quarterbacks with touchdowns. Sadler back in, as Stick mentioned, at the 41-yard line of the Crusaders. Motion, handoff, Spate inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. It's a gain of about 4 on the play.
I like that run by Spate, though. You see a lot of kids at this level just try to use their speed and stretch that to the outside. That would have resulted in a negative play. He planted his foot, he went forward, and he got 4 yards. I know 4 yards is not a huge play, but it's an important play on first down.
He's a guy that's really been blocking for them, too, and they've tried to reward him with some more rocks and targets because of that. 4 wide receivers. Sadler. Pocket breaks down. He takes off. Flag is out. Corey's going to run this thing all the way down inside the 10, but it's all for calisthenics. This thing's coming back.
See the frustration in Corey Sadler's face, like, oh man. And that's got to be so hard at any level when you're looking back. You think you're making a great run, and then all of a sudden you look back and there's the laundry on the field.
That run would have doubled the offensive output for Cass Tech in this game. Sadler's run is taken back, and this is kind of that point in the game where you start to see if King is going to make some adjustments with Sadler at that quarterback spot and maybe spy him, just like King's quarterback Flemister has now been spied.
Well, you know, Ty Spencer, chess player, and that's what this is. Football, to me, is the greatest chess match that there is of all live sports, because every play, you have 11 players that have to be in the right position, and then you're playing anticipation of what the offense is going to call. There's just so much that goes into football that I absolutely love. So seeing a master chess player figure it out, too, has been fun.
And Marvin Rushing has a couple of pawns in his back pocket as well if he wants to change the quarterback position. 3 running backs he trusts quite well. Sadler, middle screen and traffic. It's incomplete. And guess what? There's another flag down. It's a hold. And the technicians continue to moonwalk to the north end zone.
Yeah, looking to just set up a nice little screen pass. It looked like the wide receiver down the field potentially grabbed his guy that he was assigned to. And those are the things that, like we talked about, Sadler looked back, he was frustrated. You have another play right there that could potentially be a big play, but no luck for Cass Tech.
That penalty's declined, so King will decline the penalty.
That's interesting.
It is. It'll make it 3rd down from the 47-yard line. They still need to get 21 yards for a 1st down.
It's looking about 16.
16, my bad.
Yeah. That's why. I mean, 16 is doable on 3rd down.
Right.
26 is a lot harder, I would say, but you know, I guess limiting the times that this young man, number 1, gets to touch the ball is also important.
It is. Sadler will shift Spates to his right. He'll fake to him and keep it. Sadler left side, nowhere to go. Gain of maybe 2 on the play. Forced out by number 5, Jaden Wyndham on the play. Here's another look.
Yeah, you're going to see Wyndham come in and force him to the sideline to his DB, who's at number 7, Damon Stennis right there. And that's great team defense.
Yeah.
That's how you contain a Corey Sadler. You don't try to go at him. Just keep pushing him to the sideline.
But you notice that second spy is kind of crept up on him.
Yep.
They're not going to let him go one-on-one with anybody. As talented as the King defenders are. Back deep to receive this punt is Ellington, the sophomore. George Murillo Sanchez, who doubles. We saw him, a couple weeks ago for the PSL Soccer Championship? Remember that? That was fun. Cass Tech and Western. Western ended up winning that ball game, but a competitive battle. And we've got a delay of game. This thing's going to get moved back. May not be the worst thing in the world if you're an NFL punter, but I'm not sure Murillo Sanchez wants to kick it from 5 yards back further.
Where's Jack Fox when you need him?
Hopefully he's resting in his suburban Detroit bed, getting ready to take a birdie down to Tampa Bay in the morning.
Yeah, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Him and his girlfriend, when they first moved here, they did a lot of cool things with us.
Is that right?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All right, you got any stories?
Yeah, we got some.
Okay.
Fun guy.
Sanchez will stand at his own 38. It's a high snap. And showing off his athleticism to kick that thing away. We saw this in week 4. You'll recall he had to retrieve back on a wild snap, pick up the punt, and kick it away. And we said that's a G of the game type play. Mark that down. That is a skilled play by Murillo. My goodness, how about it?
Yeah, and we were talking about the 5 yards making a difference. It did not. I mean, he punted that thing into the end zone anyways. That's a darn near a 60-yard punt.
Sanchez Murillo, I can't say enough about that play, and he did it again. I mean, those are little things that you don't expect your punter to make a play like that.
Well, no, he gets tackled there, and the turnover, you're at the 40-yard line in your own territory compared to the 20-yard line pinning them back.
Make a note of that one. So, back in is Flemister, the freshman. Rolling right, got a man, caught at the 29-yard line. The catch is made by Jamar Davis, the senior at 5'8", and it's close to a 1st down. Move those chains.
Yeah, nice play here, too, to get your freshman quarterback comfortable. Nice, easy, completable pass. You know, you roll them out, you put everybody in their routes running that way, so he has options at every single level. You see it short, you see it there, and then you see it long with number 7, and he takes the intermediate.
I like it. Handoff left side, got some running room straight ahead. Deuce, that's Michael Dukes putting up the Dukes and barreling his way forward for a gain of 9. Back-to-back big plays on 1st down.
Yeah, and hand it to the offensive line for opening up that big hole.
Yes, sir. Dukes again. He'll have the 1st down before slipping. But it's still a gain up to the 47-yard line. Gain of 8. King's starting to find a little bit of room with a few different ways.
Well, you saw it. Once they got Cass Tech on their heels, they went back to the line of scrimmage and ran the same play almost again. And I love that kind of football. If it's working, don't stop doing it.
really high on Dukes, the sophomore tailback. They got the big freshman up there as well, and Henry. Jameer Henry, the left tackle, is a freshman. Flemister rolling right again. And just a little bit too tall for Dukes, the tailback. 2nd down and 10.
And that's where you could tell he's kind of a freshman quarterback, right? And you're going to see that. He's not going to make every single play perfect, but you like that call, a rollout again. Well, that's where you need the touch. You have the arm. You don't need to gun it at a guy that's about 5 yards away. Watch this. Everything he has. And that's why it sailed a little high.
Got excited he was wide open. Ty Spencer saying it reminds him a little bit about that 2016 team. Flemister looking left side. No. There's a late flag, though. And it looks like PI is going to be called. It was late, but it might have been the right call. Here's another look. Nothing I saw there.
The official behind him must have saw a jersey stretch or something like that.
Or he went out, yeah.
It's a tough call.
Pass interference call, move the chains. Here's another look.
Yep, you see the jersey stretching right there with his left hand on him?
There is, but when the ball's overthrown like that and uncatchable, I got a bit of a problem with it.
Yeah, well, sorry. I got nothing else to say to you. But when you stretch a jersey like that, it's going to be called every single time. If he just puts his hand on him, no problem. But you can't tug that jersey.
All right. Agree to disagree.
It's the visual cue that the umpire looks for.
1st and 10 up the middle. Kings starting to muscle their way forward. That's a bully run of 5 yards against a stout Cass Tech front. How about the big boys up front, Stick, getting it done?
Yeah, and we talked about them during the pregame. You got Henry, Bradley Lewis, Powers, Stevens, and Lund just having their way right now with Cass Tech.
Yes, sir. So they'll attack the right side again. It's Dukes. Shut down quickly. That's Victor Polk coming up to make the stop along with Bishop. 3rd and mid, 4-down territory.
Yeah, great play by Polk there, coming up, filling the gap, and just standing his ground. We've seen that a couple times today. These defenders coming in and turning into brick walls.
Marvin Rushing really raving about both those players. Polk up and coming, and Noah Bishop kind of leading the way on that front line. 3rd down and 5 from the 34. The freshman Flemister in the gun. Dukes to his left. 3-step drop, looking right. Got a man caught at the 30. Makes a man miss. Has a 1st down and more. How about the move to shake loose, boogie, get down, and move the chains for Jamar Davis?
Yeah, Flemister on that play. I love that. That pre-snap. Looking at, he changed the play, taps his helmet. We'll figure out what that means later. But the ability to do that as a freshman shows that you have full control of the offense.
Like coverage might have been a little bit too soft for him not to attack. Wise decision. 7.5 left. Tie game at 7. Title game. City championship on the line between these two longtime rivals. There's a run up the gut, bouncing left and outside. And it's Dukes again. He's been the lead ball carrier. That's his 8th rush tonight. For 37 yards, averaging about 4.5.
Now, for Ty Spencer, are you going to continue to run the ball up the middle, or do you use the 2nd and short to take a shot to the end zone? I think he's going end zone.
I think you're right. He's looking. Flemister over the middle, got a man just over the tops of the tips of the fingers of Kayvon Matthews, the standout receiver.
Well, he was thinking what I was thinking, so that makes me feel good, because Ty Spencer's a very smart man. But it was wide open, just that ball needs to be a little bit down, and that's an easy touchdown for King. But, you know, this is kind of 4-down territory, so you still have the whole playbook open for you right here. And you know your quarterback's got them legs.
Week 9 opponent is Cincinnati Moeller for King, a team that they took down last year in Detroit. Slant route over the middle, caught. Another flag is out. The throw is impressionable. The catch is made by David Calmisi, a junior lightly used receiver. And a fine catch and a first down if it stands.
Yeah, way to hold on to the ball. Marcus Jennings coming up laying the lumber. It looks like we have an eligible receiver downfield, though, so this is coming back.
It is. Flemister with a couple of rushes. One of them was for a touchdown. And he's accounted for the score for King. Seth Sendry accounting for the Cass Tech score with his touchdown catch from Corey Sadler at 19 yards.
Yeah, if you had Sendry catching a touchdown pass on your bingo card, you're doing well.
We want to talk to you. Throw right, got a man, caught, completed up to the 23-yard line. Great defense there. Jamar Davis nowhere to go. It's going to be 4th down and long for King.
They tried to use a little misdirection there, fake it up top, come back down low. But Cass Tech was able to snuff that out. Great pursuit of the quarterback. And 0 right there. Lamont Wilcoxon came in, didn't make the play, but he was able to prolong it enough for Victor Polk to come in and shut it down.
Polk really did close that nicely. Not an easy guy in space to tackle. So Flemister with a rolling clock under 6 minutes will take a timeout. Cass Tech will actually take the timeout. That's their second timeout. We'll take it with them. 5:46 to go until the break. Don't go anywhere. We got a beauty in this Blue Division title game from downtown Detroit. Chad and Stick and Kara back with you right after this.
The shoulder.
Swing and a miss.
McGinley scores!
Oh yeah, a little Italiano food never hurt anybody. Well, that's what this crew got to eat tonight, thanks to the Detroit-based Mario's Restaurant, Detroit's oldest Italian restaurant since 1948. We enjoyed some great pasta and salad. It was delicious. We thank them very much. 4th and 8 from the 22 for King in a tie game. Motion left to right. Flemister, the freshman, going to step up and run it. Flag is down. It didn't matter. He did not get the first down. And if it stands, this will get declined, and Cass Tech will take over at the 16-yard line.
It almost looked like Cass had 2 spies on that play. If we go back and watch the replay, the 2 middle linebackers are just sitting in space. They're not doing anything till Flemister moved, and as soon as he did, watch him. So you got 15 sitting
Polk,
right there
yeah.
and 2 sitting right there, just watching and waiting.
Double spy. Cameron Summerhour with the tackle and the sure-handed tackler. So they'll take over at the 17-yard line. Will Cass Tech. Who will be at quarterback? It's Seth Sendry this time with a cluster to the right in a trio. Sadler at the bottom of the screen.
Single coverage, too.
For now. I doubt that stays. Now they'll backwind him up. Pitch right. Room. Hemmed in and tackled. That's Will Sykes Jr. with a carry. And some shenanigans after. Much ado about nothing. Gain of about 3 yards in the play.
Great cutback by Sykes here, and he got more about 6 on that play, too. Look at that, cutting back right inside, able to take on 3 defenders and get a nice down and distance. So about 5, 2nd and 5.
Nice gain on first down.
Yeah.
Clock rolling, 5 minutes left. City championship downtown Detroit. Excited about our options tonight, too, after this game.
Oh, we got plenty.
Yeah. I know you've got some people on standby.
Got some birthday parties to attend down here.
Well, good. Where are we headed?
Love and Tequila.
Okay. I'm in. Timeout, Marvin Rushing. It was a late timeout. He didn't like what he saw, and he took it. Speaking of Marvin Rushing, in his 3rd season as the leader of his alma mater, Marvin Rushing, and here you see him with his offensive line coach and assistant head coach, Mr. Dave Dawson, former Michigan Wolverine. Tie ball game, 2nd and 5 for Cass on the drive. It's a young team for Cass Tech, and Marvin Rushing, just 7 seniors, 2 senior starters. Says he's got some leaders and old souls in Washington and Bishop and Thomas. Grad in '93, went to Eastern Michigan. Had a couple different head coaches there. And this is a guy that's paid his dues. 8 seasons as an assistant coach. 20th year coaching football, works a full-time gig at Comerica Bank as an executive. And he led Cass Tech to the semifinals last year in his 2nd season. Marvin Rushing doing an outstanding job at his alma mater.
Yeah, it feels like he's been at the program a lot longer than 2 years because they've already embodied his intensity.
Sure does. Sendry hands it off right side, and he's violently thrown to the turf in a legal manner. The run was by Spates. The tackle was by Double D Dwayne Dickerson, the outside backer at 6'1", and the senior.
There you get a look at Rushing, coaching up his guys, getting them ready, letting them know, hey, the battle's not over, boys. We got a lot of work to do.
That's right. So this is a 3rd and 2. This is a critical play for this King defense in this tie game at 7. So far, total yards of offense in this game, not the gaudiest. 46 for Cass Tech only. 87 for King only. Sendry hands off on a 3rd and 2, and this is enough for the first down. He needed 2, he got 3. The turn and the give was to Carson Lovett. Guy with a lot of size and speed and a little bit of nasty to him. And this is a first down, and this is the guy you want to give it to on 3rd and short.
Yeah, great short call, pick up the first down, but I was really interested in watching the pre-snap movement by King's defense. Sadler started at the top of the screen, moved down, so you could tell who's lined up with him, and 2 defenders flipped to come to the bottom of the screen. So even when Corey's not touching the ball and making the play, he's occupying 2 defenders.
Yes, sir. First and 10. Not much there. How about it? Big play by Marquise Wright, the linebacker, to come up and stuff it. Nowhere to run for Cass in this running offense. It's been stymied tonight.
Yeah, and you got to like that play. If you're Martin Luther King, you're just standing up to them and taking the hit and making sure that they're getting the tackle for loss. But look at the gang tackling right there. That's something you put on film. That's a picture you frame and put up in your office. That's how you coach it.
Yep. Carson Lovett got the ball carry again. Just a sophomore. Shivers back from injury tonight. Cass Tech happy to get Cassius Shivers back, number 4. Sendry setting up the screen, nothing home. Showed he could run it earlier, and this time he gets shut down at the line. Nowhere to go. Fine play up front by number 55, the defensive tackle. That's Jalen Garrett, who's been one of their best this year, the senior at 6'2", 270.
Yeah, just kind of a broken play here, and a good job. The reason it was broken is because Martin Luther King did such a great job covering up Sadler, who was going in for that screen pass. But they read that, and that's the awareness that the coach was bringing up.
Timeout on the field, we'll take it with him. 1:49 to go until the break. Kara Wolfbauer will have a coach at halftime or 2. Stick around. We're back after these.
Lowering the shoulder.
swing and a miss.
McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
4 wide receivers. Pressure, steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut. There you see Ty Spencer in his 8th year. Wayne State grad. Took over at King in 2016. Coach Harvell, who'd passed away that summer. All he did was go on to win the state title that year as a rookie head coach. And nice career at Wayne State under Paul Winters. All GLIAC DB his final season. Led King to 4 state titles. They're the reigning back-to-back state champions. Very gifted chess player, national competitor in that area, as Stick told you earlier. 3rd and 10 for Cass Tech, who's had a tough time getting tracking. 1 of 3 throwing the football in this game. Sendry back to Sadler. Sadler going down. Sniffed out and snuffed down. Xavier Newsome getting nasty again on this Ford Field turf.
And Martin Luther King has done an incredible job corralling Corey Sadler so far here in this first half. He was able to get loose with a pass, but that's about it. Look at the pursuit and the jerseys around him. Safe to say that they have practice against that screen pass. You know, and that's been kind of the theme of the week. Do not let number 1 beat you. And so far, the jury's out, right? He beat you once.
Yeah, he beat you once.
And you've beat him several times. But, you know, once is all you need in football sometimes.
That's right. 96 seconds left. A quick rundown of scores in the PSL. Detroit Renaissance 27. Detroit Pershing 21. That was a final yesterday. Detroit Northwestern 22. Detroit Osborne 12. Henry Ford 49. Douglas nothing. And those are some PSL scores to pass along. Of course, earlier today, we called Detroit Denby's come from behind win 29-28 over Detroit Central. They tied the game up at 29 aside with 30 seconds left. Decided to kick the extra point. They had not kicked an extra point all day.
Neither team had.
Neither team had. Been either go for 2, and it was an extra point attempt that went through, and the Tars came back to win it and defeat Central and stop their 2-game win streak in this PSL Gold title game.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like, the irony of kicking the extra point becomes the most, like, suspenseful part of the game because we hadn't seen one. And then when the ball goes through the uprights, the celebration that Denby had, it was really better than a Hail Mary pass. I was really in awe by how it all played out. It was a fantastic game. Both teams, as our friend Rasheed Wallace would say, both teams played hard.
They did. The ball did not lie. Also something Rasheed would say. By the way, it's almost basketball season.
Yes, it is.
There you see the cheerleaders. Great competition coming up at halftime. How about it? Look at all the PSL.
Smile for the selfie.
Girls getting ready. All right, here we go. So, Murillo Sanchez to punt it. Sanchez Murillo, I apologize. He stands at his own 4. Back deep is Ellington for King. It's a spiral punt, beautifully placed. And taken by Ellington across the field, and that's a mistake. Nowhere to go. And at the bottom of that pile, who do we have?
I wasn't looking at who made the tackle. What I was looking at was David Reedus, number 28 for King. He had an opportunity to kind of help the play along, but it would have been an illegal block in the back, and he pulled up. So that saved them at least 10, 15 yards, and that was a smart play by him by letting that block go.
The tackle was by Clayton Talley II. The Troy Colts with a 28-3 lead over Troy Athens. And Mr. Sonnenberg likes that one. He's all giddy. Flemister's going to carry. The quarterback keeper's good for 8 yards. 75 seconds left in this first half and a running clock. King has just one timeout left.
You can tell they're starting to speed it up. Run the no-huddle offense.
First matchup, 7-0 at halftime. This one tied at 7. This one's thrown away. It's going to set up a 3rd and 3. Flemister just whipped that thing away. Had some pressure coming.
Yeah, great play by number 41, who I do not have on my roster sheet right now, but he was able to put pressure on Flemister, causing that incomplete pass.
Got to look at Craig Patterson down there on the sidelines, running the parabola.
It's a beautiful man, Craig.
Yep. Running a beautiful piece of equipment, the parabola. This is a carry by Dukes. It's enough for a first down stick. Clock will stop momentarily, 51 seconds left. King doesn't necessarily have a kicker they trust further than that PAT. We haven't seen a kicking attempt yet. Flemister in trouble. Breaks away out of the pocket and throws it away. Was that the offhand he threw it with?
It looked like it. I don't think he's a left-handed quarterback, did you?
No.
He switched the ball into his left hand and threw it.
This is a fine play by Flemister.
I mean, it saves the sack, and he didn't have to run out of bounds. But, yeah, he switched the ball right there. Just,
I mean, that's savvy. Forget athletic. That's just savvy.
And as a freshman, too,
right.
that's a couple times this game that we've already noticed he's playing well beyond his years.
It was a natural transition to quarterback when he took over for Nate. Nate took the news well. Flemister looking downfield, and it's short. 27 seconds remain. It's 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, Victor Polk is a guy that we've talked about several times here in this first half, and he put great pressure on the quarterback there, causing that incomplete pass.
There you see the Cass Tech defense and the defensive coordinator, Cully Robinson. That's Deshaun Franklin, former teammate of mine, Wayne State, roaming those sidelines, the D-line coach for the Technicians, former D-line coach and D coordinator at Southfield A&T last year. Handoff right side, Dukes, short of the first down, and with 17 seconds left and a timeout to go, I think King might just let this thing roll.
Yeah, Will Sykes came in at the end of that play, and what a hit by Sykes. Watch number 13 come in and finish this play. You're going to see him coming from the outside of your screen right. Oh,
ooh.
Yeah, that is a big hit. It looked like he forced the fumble, too.
Kid's 157 pounds.
And he brought all of it on that.
So stick around at halftime. We'll have Carol Wolfbauer. She'll talk to both head coaches. At first, it'll be Cass Tech's head coach Marvin Rushing. And then we'll have some highlights from this game and also from the St. Mary's Brother Rice game. We'll also have highlights from the first championship game, for which we saw the Tars of Denby knock off Detroit Central in really a classic game, 29-28.
We got a cheerleader battle going on at halftime, I believe, too.
We will. We will have highlights of the cheerleader competition as well.
Do we get to judge that and decide who wins?
No judgment zone.
Okay.
4th and 6. And we've got no timeouts left either way. Flemister looking right. Got a man caught. It's Dukes. Dukes with 8 seconds left will stay in bounds, and that will finish perhaps the quarter. It is a first down. Clock will wind, and they will clock it with 2 seconds left.
Yeah, the clock stops till it's set, and then the second it's set, the clock starts to wind. So they were able to get a snap off, stop the clock, and one more heave into the end zone.
Yeah, and when you got a guy like Flemister that can move a little bit, you never know.
Or are they bringing out a kicker? Field goal team, Chad.
I don't think that's the case. I think it's a turnover on downs.
A 42-yard field goal.
Oh, it is. Okay, it is a field goal attempt. Shame on me. We've seen it all tonight. So it'll be a hold from David Colmisi.
See, and if I'm Cass Tech, I'm putting Corey Sadler down there in the end zone to return this if it's short.
Terrence Moore for a 41-yard field goal attempt. And that kick is going to be wide left. Had enough distance, but no good. That's how the first half will end. They gave it a run, but it didn't drop home. Closer than we thought.
Yeah, and that's something you may want to put in your back pocket for the second half, too. All right, maybe if we get a little bit closer, we could win this game, and that ball may have been tipped, too, but he has enough leg to get it through the uprights. But here we are, sitting 7-7 at halftime. Would you expect it any other way? The two top teams in the public school league going at each other, tied at halftime. Cass versus King, a tradition like no other.
No doubt. Carol Wolfbauer with the head coach, Marvin Rushing. She's standing by on the field. Let's go down to the field with Kara. Kara, take it away.
Thanks, Chad. I'm with Marvin Rushing now, and we're starting to move a little bit because the cheerleaders are starting to come out. But, Coach, tell me a little about your thoughts on the first half.
Well, we've just been lack of discipline is why this game is 7-7. We should be up. We will be up. We're going to go ahead and figure that out at halftime. Again, like last game, we got some wrinkles we hadn't shown. Got to get my damn coaches to wake up so we can go ahead and do what we're supposed to do.
Can you talk about some of the adjustments you're looking to make in the second half offensively?
We'll just wait to see them.
All right, we'll wait to see him, Coach. Thanks so much for joining us today. We'll see you in a little bit. We'll send it back up to Chad and stick in the booth.
All right. Thank you, Kara. Appreciate that very much.
Every time I think I couldn't love that guy anymore, he comes up with such great one-liners, too. And calling out the coaching staff, like, hey, let's get it together, fellas. But I cannot wait to see those wrinkles he's talking about.
Holding everybody accountable. Got to respect it. All right, 7-all. We've got a dandy in the Blue Division City Championship from downtown Detroit and Ford Field. We're back for more right after this.
Every morning when I rise, my dream lives in me. This is my kingdom, a wonder world that's always changing, where great champions stand victorious. Here, we celebrate what makes us different. We share our creativity, and we grow stronger, preparing for the world we will make together.
I am.
I am.
I am one of Detroit's next legends. It's our time to rise.
From an ordinary idea comes a great journey. It all starts with a simple thought, a vision of something bigger, greater than what already exists. It's that spark that ignites the passion and drive to create something truly amazing. At G-Brand, we understand this journey well. We take pride in the details and perfecting every aspect of the process, regardless of how small or big they may be. Because it's more than just a design or a shirt. It's about outfitting future champions. There's something to be said about a team coming together, each member contributing their unique skills, talents, and ideas. It's that collective effort that takes a simple idea and turns it into something truly great. The process can be excruciating, with countless hours spent tirelessly reviewing every detail. But the end result is pure and so rewarding, knowing that we've created something that will inspire greatness in those who wear it. Whether they come from a savage land or a booming metropolis, whether their numbers are 2 or 2 billion, the greatest their numbers could ever become is truly to become one. That's why at G-Brand, we're more than just a clothing company. We're a movement, a community of like-minded individuals who believe in the power of coming together to make a difference. So join us on this journey as we strive to outfit future champions and inspire greatness in all that we do. G-Brand. Now that's game.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Did you know that kids are not little adults when it comes to sports injuries? That's because of something called the growth plate. Growth plates exist all over the human body in our growing athletes. They're actually little cartilage discs that exist at the end of all the long bones. It's simply where a kid grows. The problem is that the growth plate can be the weak link. What might be a sprain, a strain, or a tear in an adult when they hurt themselves can actually be a growth plate fracture in a kid. So it's important, if your kid has hurt themselves and they're not using their arm or they're not able to put weight on a leg, come see one of us, get an x-ray, and make sure it's not a growth plate fracture. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
As the voice of Michigan's student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports should be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic athletes can thrive.
We believe that athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe that students in the stands should have fun,
but not take away the focus from the game.
We believe coaches should act like teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and support their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports,
and respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while keeping a high level of respect between all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Everywhere you look this time of year, people are running, and that's a great thing because running is an excellent exercise, especially for your cardiovascular and musculoskeletal systems. But the question is, are you running a safe running program? All too often, people are hobbled by things like shin splints and patellar tendonitis. But luckily, simple things like stretching and warm-up, the right running shoes, and realistic weekly mileages can keep you in your running game. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
My dad and my grandfather are officials. I've grown up around officials and seeing how much they enjoy being part of the games. As a student athlete, I've always appreciated the people out there who are willing to give back to the kids. The Legacy program lets me officiate while I'm still in high school, working younger kids' games. Officiating gives me a better understanding of the game. I get to make some pretty good money for a high school kid, and I even get to spend some quality time with my dad. There's help wanted. Just whistle.
From an ordinary idea comes a great journey. It all starts with the simple thought, a vision of something bigger, greater than what already exists. It's that spark that ignites the passion and drive to create something truly amazing. At G-Brand, we understand this journey well. We take pride in the details and perfecting every aspect of the process, regardless of how small or big they may be. Because it's more than just a design or a shirt. It's about outfitting future champions. There's something to be said about a team coming together, each member contributing their unique skills, talents, and ideas. It's that collective effort that takes a simple idea and turns it into something truly great. The process can be excruciating, with countless hours spent tirelessly reviewing every detail. But the end result is pure and so rewarding, knowing that we've created something that will inspire greatness in those who wear it. Whether they come from a savage land or a booming metropolis, whether their numbers are 2 or 2 billion, the greatest their numbers could ever become is truly to become one. That's why at G-Brand, we're more than just a clothing company. We're a movement, a community of like-minded individuals who believe in the power of coming together to make a difference. So join us on this journey as we strive to outfit future champions and inspire greatness in all that we do. G-Brand. Now that's game.
Christian, get up.
Alright, game day don't start Friday. Let's get it, baby. Good job, boy.
If your company wants to make the turn to the next level, make sure you contact Make the Turn, an award-winning digital marketing firm based right here in Metro Detroit. And it's founded by our friends Mike Sullivan and Kyle Bogey in 2019. They've quickly grown to a full team of professionals who create custom marketing solutions to help grow your business. Maybe you've got a great marketing department and you want to get 10% better, or maybe you're a business owner who wants a marketing director without the full-time salary. It's worth visiting MakeTheTurn.com and checking out all their great examples and reviews. They can help with content creation, digital advertising, or even just optimizing your social media and web presence. Visit MakeTheTurn.com to schedule a free consultation and see how they can help your company make the turn to the next level. In today's ever-changing real estate and mortgage lending world, the importance of a true professional has never been higher. At Success Mortgage Partners, our mission is for every borrower to receive Level 10 service, and our goal is to get you the lowest rate possible. We want you to have an experience of a lifetime. Navigating a turbulent market like this, it needs to be handled by a real professional. Call Todd Barr at 734-674-6154 and put 20 years of local knowledge to use for you and your family. Success Mortgage Partners Incorporated supports equal housing opportunity, NMLS ID number 130562. At McFarland Electronics, they're your one-stop AV guy for all your home automation needs, whether it's your network, it's motorized blinds, automated lighting scenes, frame TVs, rings, Sonos, Savants, and much, much more. They also got all your outdoor TV and speaker specialist needs. They can get your backyard ready for the big game this fall. You won't be disappointed. As in football tradition, they are the back shoulder fade of an AV. Give them the ball. The best speakers on earth, the best systems on earth. Let McFarland Electronics be McFarland Electronics and help you with all your digital needs. Reach out at 248-379-4369. Two more quick scores to get you caught up on before we send to a break. West Bloomfield, the Lakers, looking to take out Southfield A&T 28-6 and spoil their hopes of a clean season thus far and a perfect 7-0 start. Waterford Mott trails Milford 21-14 in a Lakes Valley Conference battle. Lakeland with a 23-6 lead over Walled Lake Northern, and Utica Eisenhower with a 20-7 lead over Utica. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back shortly. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Find us on TikTok. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Please subscribe to us on the station you're watching right now, this YouTube channel. We really appreciate it. It's free, and we appreciate your support. Join our sponsorship team today if you'd like to be a sponsor. We're loving these new partners we're gaining. We'd love to add more. Info at theprepsports.com. Chad and Stick and Kara are back with you momentarily with some highlights and a word from the Detroit King head coach coming up right after this. This is Gridiron Game Day, and we are the Prep.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. We all know that our wives and daughters deserve special attention, but that's especially true when it comes to their knees. Do you know that females are at a 2 to 5 times risk compared to their male counterparts when it comes to blowing out their knees? It doesn't seem fair, but it's true. The reasons include the way females are made and the way they fire their muscles. But fortunately, there are injury prevention programs out there that can greatly decrease this risk of injury. And if you do know a female who blows out her ACL, don't despair. We have neat, innovative, minimally invasive ways to fix their knees and get them back onto the field. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
As the voice of Michigan's student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports should be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic athletes can thrive.
We believe that athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe that students in the stands should have fun,
but not take away the focus from the game.
We believe coaches should act like teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and support their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports.
And respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while keeping a high level of respect between all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game.
Every morning when I rise, my dream lives in me. This is my kingdom, a wonder world that's always changing, where great champions stand victorious. Here, we celebrate what makes us different. We share our creativity, and we grow stronger, preparing for the world we will make together.
I am.
I am one of Detroit's next legends. It's our time to rise.
All the talent, not just in the football uniforms. How about the bands? This is Cass Tech performing, but we've seen talent with the cheerleaders, the band. It's a big part of this PSL title game today.
Yeah, and it's always fun to watch these bands go at it, and the announcers for each band are kind of throwing shade at each other on the field, like, you can have your field back now. That's what we heard last time. Cass said that to King at King. So, yeah, the bands are always a lot of fun. The cheerleaders are always a lot of fun. Just the excitement when these two teams get together. I'm telling you, there is not a better matchup in the entire state of Michigan.
A lot of fun and energy, talent all around. We'll talk to Detroit King head coach Tyrone Spencer in just a moment, but Stick, a first half that really saw King hold Cass Tech down offensively, do some serious damage. Just 38 yards in this first half.
Yeah, if you're Cass Tech, I mean, the only thing that really worked for you was kind of a trick play. and that's exactly what they need to do here and get back to in this second half. And you heard Coach Rushing talked about, hey, we got a couple more wrinkles. We got a couple more things up our sleeve that we're going to bring out here in this second half.
We'll hear what King has up their sleeves right now. Kara Wolfbauer is down with Ty Spencer. Let's go down to Kara.
Thanks, Chad. Alongside Ty Spencer now. Thanks for joining us today, Coach. Tell me about some of the talk in the locker room and how you're looking to move forward in the second half.
Yeah, just want to finish. You know, it was a couple opportunities we left out here on the field. You know, we got to capitalize on them, you know. So anytime we get closer to that end zone, we need to score. So we just got to continue to execute at a high level so we can win this game.
Tell me more about how you're feeling from the production so far of Flemister at quarterback.
I like it. I mean, we're not trying to have him do too much. We're trying to have him play within himself, and this is a good team championship football game. But I think he's doing a good job of just kind of leading the guys, and, you know, he scored that big touchdown for us at first, so we just got to keep getting him going.
Well, good luck, Coach. Thanks so much for joining us today. Good luck heading into the second half. We'll send it back up to Chad and Stick in the booth.
Thanks so much. Great job, Kara. Appreciate Ty Spencer's time and Marvin Rushing's time. Some highlight, Stick, from the first half in this one.
Yeah, it got going. Well, there's a little pass interference on a play that it could have been called against the offense because the wide receiver stepped out of bounds first. But this was kind of the biggest play for King in the first half. Their freshman quarterback making the run. It was, about a 25-yard run, and then they kicked the extra point. Terrence Moore got that. That was good, taking us to 7-0. And here you see Cass just kind of putting pressure on the quarterback. This was the big trick play. Corey Sadler sending it to Sendry. Sendry with a nice little cutback, little ball spin here to let you know he's able to get into the end zone too. But that was really the only offense that we saw in the first half. It's been a defensive battle, putting pressure on each other, forcing teams to make mistakes. This was kind of, you see Sadler here, they're trying to throw it back to him, but look at the wall of King defenders making sure that does not happen. You got to hit him with the ice foot after that, too.
No doubt. So there you see it, the titles. It'll be given up, the champion, the runner-up, and it will be provided at the end of this one. We'll also have our G of the game. We'll come back with a second half of the PSL Blue Division Championship and a few other highlights from around this great state of Michigan. Thanks for watching Gridiron Game Day Championship Edition. Back after this from Ford Field.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
4 wide receivers. Pressure, steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McGinley scores! All right. Getting set for the second half. Chad and Stick, Kara Wolfbauer, our sideline analyst. And there you see it. Cass Tech, semifinalist a year ago. King, the reigning state champions, back-to-back. But a new regime for both, new quarterbacks. And look, we saw Sendry make an impact with Cass, and that was really the only completion we saw. Sadler to Sendry for that touchdown. We've seen Flemister do some fun things at quarterback. A lot of good promise for both these young teams that we've seen already.
Yeah, for Flemister, I've been really impressed with his poise. We mentioned on that one play, he looked over to his coach, changed the play call before the play, and then got himself into a successful situation. Then you saw another time when he's getting chased, switches the ball to his left hand and throws it as to not get sacked. Like, those are things that you can't teach kids. And, we talked about it earlier with Corey Sadler, the way he sets up his blocks down the field. And watching those two kind of go at it in this game, it's going to be something that we're going to witness for the next 3 years at least.
There you see Sadler getting loose with Sendry. We'll see how that rotation comes about. We did see a lot of rotation. There you see Dave Malecki, the offensive coordinator, watching his quarterbacks throw.
But you love how Sadler doesn't have anybody catching the ball for him.
No, he needs to practice. He needs to catch it too.
The other quarterback has the guy catching it and giving it to him. Sadler's like, no, I'm going to catch, throw. I'm going to do everything, guys. Just let me be.
Yeah. Oh, man. So Cass will kick it off. George Sanchez Murillo to boot it, the 5'9" junior. And back deep, the return man that we've seen all night, Deontay Ellington. It is a pooch kick. And this thing's going to fall loose, and King has it at the 25, but I'll tell you what, Damon Stennis had to jump on it. I like the play call by Cass Tech and the execution.
Yeah, usually the momentum will kind of take that ball out of the end zone, but Cass Tech got a nice hop there. This is just a long onside kick that Stennis was lucky to be Johnny on the spot with.
So this is a interesting setup. We'll see how King comes out and wants to attack this Cass Tech defense. been a defense that's been on some kind of a run. It's a skilled, high, fast, attacking defense. And the quarterback, Flemister, all the way. Guy who took over in week 5 for the transfer quarterback, Nathan Edwards. And Flemister's going to keep it here, and he's going to lose a yard and run into a big green wall that's led by Noah Bishop, the defensive end.
Yeah, Noah Bishop, we talked about him pregame. He is a problem on that defensive end. And then you got Gavin Fernandez in the middle there, too. This is a tough, stout line to run against for Cass Tech.
Gritty win in week 4 on the road against King in a game that they trailed in. King really needs this to stick around, to clinch playoffs. Next week, it doesn't get any easier. Cincinnati Moeller, the opponent. That one's incomplete, thrown out of bounds.
Noah Bishop, again, putting pressure on the quarterback. And the way he came down on the NFL, they're probably throwing a flag on that because you're no longer allowed to touch the quarterback in the NFL. But that was a nice hit he delivered to disrupt that play.
The pressure's coming. King will send 3 receivers to the right in a cluster.
It's interesting how King huddles without their wide receivers in the huddle. It's like they already know what they're running. All right, let's get the countdown.
Yeah. You've seen more huddles where it's the other way around. It's your skill guys. There's a pass over the middle that's nearly intercepted, broken up by Will Sykes Jr. They were looking for the in route, and it was tardy and nearly cost them.
Yeah, Will Sykes has played a whale of a ball game so far, and there you see him undercutting the defender. And luckily, number 16, David Kalmisi, cut underneath him. It was able to turn into the defender on that play because Will Sykes was about to take that one.
3 and out, so near disaster. Scoreless game, or excuse me, tie game. 7-7. Terrence Moore in punt formation. Sadler will take it at the 47. He lost it. Ball's loose, and King has it. So they say. No, Cass Tech got it back. I apologize. Corey Sadler had it, lost it, and regathered.
Yeah, I thought that was a risky play running up to receive that because this guy's bearing down on him. But luckily, look at the awareness to turn back around and rip that from the Martin Luther King defenders. Corey Sadler got very lucky on that play. Sometimes that's the downside of talent. You think you can do things that you shouldn't. I don't know. I don't have talent like that, but I've heard that's the downside of talent.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I've seen you make some big tight end catches back in the Braves days.
I'll block someone as a fullback, but I do not have that athleticism.
5 wide, empty set. Hendricks slot right. And it's going to be Sadler. He's going to take off, and they'll never get him. Corey up the middle. Touchdown, Technicians. Oh, what a hole by the Hogs up front. Sadler didn't need much, and he zipped his way to the promised land for a 54-yard touchdown run, partner.
And he's just a ticking time bomb, right? It's not if, it's when he's going to go off, and he did it on that play. And you wonder if this is what Marvin Rushing was talking about going into halftime, because they really haven't run an up-the-middle quarterback draw, and that really looked like a quarterback trap. Did you see the guard pulling on that replay? Look at, you have 2 guards, you have your guard and tackle pulling on that. Great job by the lineman for Cass Tech, but that's a little wrinkle that we hadn't seen in the first half.
A little counter tray.
Jalen Washington and Evan Gooden
paving the way. Sadler doesn't need much. We saw a similar Sadler take off for touchdown to ignite Cass Tech to start the third quarter in week 4.
He's a game changer. I mean, sometimes I feel bad, and you know, like we're as unbiased as you can be with this matchup. I have no relation to either of these schools. But when you see a guy like Corey Sadler and you talk about him all the time, some people are like, all right, that's enough of the Corey Sadler show. But then he does this, and it's like, okay, well, am I not supposed to mention the guy and how he's able to outrun everybody and how nobody can take an angle of pursuit, how he's tough to bring down? He's just a very talented athlete.
One of the best in the country. Took a visit out to Colorado. Really liked what he saw from Deion Sanders and Coach Prime.
Looked good in that uni, too.
Yes, he did. He looked at home in Boulder.
Did you see colleges are stopping that? There you see him reading those blocks, and once it gets daylight, you're not going to catch him. Did you see that the NCAA passed a rule now, unless it's an official visit, you can't take pictures in uniforms anymore?
I didn't see that.
Oh, it's such an awful
No fun
rule.
league.
Yeah, come on. Just let the kids get in a jersey.
I'm with you, man. Let them have fun. If you're going to make the trip, you're going to go out there. Might as well get them in their gear.
Right. Put a jersey on, take a picture, post it up, say not committed, but still wearing the jersey. That's part of the fun of being recruited.
So stick at halftime. Cass Tech's offensive total was under 50 yards.
Yep.
And on one play, Corey Sadler Jr. doubled their output with that run. Similar to what we saw to start the second half in week 4. I don't belabor the point, but it just seems like a carbon copy right now. In fact, this was the final score of that game, first game matchup in week 4.
Yeah, and it kind of felt like that in the first game here at the PSL Championships, too, between Central and Denby. It was kind of a carbon copy of the first game they played as well.
A one-play drive. 54 yards, it took 6 seconds. And Corey Sadler Jr. with a 54-yard quarterback keeper up the middle off a fine pulling guard and tackle Washington and Gooden's block.
And I wish we had that ESPN stat tracker that could say what miles per hour they got up to. We got to get that technology here at the prep. Alex Westfall, get on that.
Yeah, it's about as fast as Austin Sonnenberg drives.
So 22 miles an hour?
No, he drives 55, like Sammy Hagar. I'm just kidding. So we have King now in a position where they need to respond. Their first drive was shut down quickly, just 3 plays.
Yeah, well, King has shown that they can respond and they will respond. You know, this is not a team that's just going to go away because they hit you with one big punch. You know, we saw it after they got down 7-0 in this game. They were able to tie it up and take it into halftime. But you can see Cass Tech has kind of figured some things out defensively. Now it's on King to adjust, and we'll see what those halftime adjustments were.
We have a scoring update from West Bloomfield, and it's the Lakers 31, Southfield A&T 8.
Wow.
Now, Southfield A&T and Cass Tech played in week 1 with Isaiah Marshall sneaking out of Detroit's Tom Adams Field with a win, a late touchdown. They're in line to play again in the tournament, the MHSA tournament, just like they did last year.
I was going to say, that's one of the best games I think we've ever called here at the prep, but it was a 2-parter, Cass Tech and Southfield A&T.
Yeah. Well, we called the regular season and then the playoff one. We didn't get a chance to call, but Cass Tech was victorious in that one. And it advanced them to the semifinals against Belleville, a team that they nearly knocked off. So we know how talented both teams are. So King down a score with 10-10 to go. The freshman Flemister wants it all, and that is a little too deep.
But if nothing else, that just showed off Flemister's arm.
Yeah.
On the defense, I now know that Flemister can launch that ball at least 60 yards in the air. That's something that once it's on film, teams are going to start looking at me, oh gosh, we cannot let anybody get behind us because he can make that throw.
Yep. He's trying to get his speed guy, Kayvon Matthews, loose. He's the leader receiving in yards. Stinson and Jamar Davis also in that crew, along with Ellington, who's really stepped up lately as a return man. He's in the slot now. 3rd and 10. Pressure off the corner, and Flemister goes down. The blitz from Lamont Wilcoxon off that far side corner And King's in some kind of trouble now, punting out of the shadows of their end zone.
Yeah, and not even touched. I mean, they didn't slide anything. You see the running back trying to decide who he's going to block. He ends up blocking nobody because he couldn't make a decision and put his quarterback in a very precarious position.
So now Nate Edwards will stand in his own end zone. And it's a 4th and 21, all the way back to the 2. The technicians have really turned things up.
Marvin Rushing going into halftime looked very confident and said that he had some things. Kara tried to get it out of him. Hey, what are you going to talk about, or what adjustments are you going to make? And he's like, you'll see. You'll see.
Didn't want to reveal it too early. Sadler to catch it at the 41, running up that right sideline. Cut back inside, down to the 12. Oh, the CJ show continues to shine with a fist thrown into the thick Motor City air.
I mean, what can't this guy do? You just see that. It's so tough to take an angle on him, and then he's got moves like that to get by you, and he's balanced. He's tough to bring down. I mean, he's freaking out our cameraman. That's how good he's doing.
And that's hard to do. That's the great Kyle Buchanan.
Kyle does not want credit for that.
Oh, he doesn't? Okay.
No.
Well, apologize. Sadler in at quarterback. The handoff is to Carson Lovett, the sophomore, with good size, speed, and a little bit of nastiness to go with it. Perfect for the goal line. And we've got a timeout on the field.
Yeah, Ty Spencer is hot over there on the sidelines. They were trying to get a different lineman in. Cass Tech got to the line fast and got that play going, forcing him to call a timeout.
We want to thank our food provider, Mario's, the longest standing restaurant in Detroit, opened in 1948. Boy, did we get some great gravy, as the boys say.
Manja, manja.
Manja, manja, the bolognese sauce.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. It was delicious. We had some salad, too, that if you talk about a salad, it's got to be special. And this
and you've
crew,
been talking about it all since we had
I know. I can't stop. I know.
It's fantastic. Mario's, obviously it's been around, and I used to go there on date nights a long time ago, and
yeah, you had a high percentage on date nights there of second dates.
Yeah, Mario's closes.
I love it. Oh man, 2nd and 6 from the 9. They can get a first down without a touchdown. Sadler still in there, in the gun. The freshman Hendricks to his left. Spates to his right, and it's Spates, and he's going to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. Fine job converging by number 55, and that's Jalen Garrett, the D-tackle.
Yeah, they just blew that play up the minute it happened. And look at the penetration right there. And then 18 comes in and cleans it up, too. Kirsten Wheeler coming in.
Fine player in his own right. This is big. 3rd down territory. Cass with a kicking game. We've seen that. But they know touchdowns get you a little bit higher in the percentage of victory. 8 minutes left in the 3rd. Inside, handoff. Stood up, not a first down. The give was to number 23, that's Spates again. And the junior is tackled by Marvell Eggleston Jr., the Eastern Michigan commit. And it's the field goal unit coming out with Murillo Sanchez to attempt what looks to be a 25-yard field goal.
Yeah, and it's tempting to go for it down here, but putting that 2-score lead on the board is something that is invaluable at this point, because as we've seen with these teams, scoring is tough to come by.
Yeah.
Both these defenses are very, very active.
Very stingy. Kick is up, and the kick is good. It's snuck inside that right upright. It's a 25-yard field goal for Cass Tech, and George Sanchez Murillo, the junior kicker, is added on 3 more.
And that's a good drive for Cass Tech, but it's also, you got to feel pretty good if you're Martin Luther King, too, because you gave up a big play. You stopped Sadler down about the 10-yard line. You were able to hold Cass Tech out of the end zone. So if you're Martin Luther King, not as bad as it could have been. Hold them to 3 and go back out there and try to get back on the board.
Detroit King trying to get another title, be their 3rd straight, playing out of Division III, opting up this year. Just 800 students, 6-time state champions, first in 2007. You recall Sauce Gardner, notable graduate, 3-time state champion when he was there, 15, 16, and 18. NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year last year. Special alumni, how about Sada Baby, Casada Sorrell? We interviewed him last year. He's an American rapper, and several hit songs, whole lot of choppas. They got as high as number 35 in the Billboard Hot 100. What are you laughing at? He's a 2010 grad.
He was an American rapper.
Well, that's what Evan Westfall called him last year. That was his lower third, American rapper.
American rapper.
I thought it was cute. I thought it was wonderful. We're just going to keep running with it.
Yeah, you might as well. I'm sure Sada doesn't have a problem with that, but yeah,
no.
Sada's a fun guy to hang out with. Always good time.
Yes, he is. All right. Kickoff return from the 5 up the right sideline to the 29 and out of bounds. Solid return for Damon Stennis, who has yet to get the rock and have a chance to get things going. He's a big play guy, and we have yet to really call his name stick.
Yeah, and that's what Cass Tech has been doing to Martin Luther King all game long. I mean, there was the one scramble by their freshman quarterback that got them into the end zone, but outside of that, it's been tough sledding.
We haven't really seen the run game develop the way that it did the first time around. There are some guys that have been productive. We saw Michael Dukes at production. We saw Tayshawn Henry Johnson before, but nothing yet really in this game that they've been able to sustain on the ground, which could help a freshman quarterback.
Well, now you're in a spot where you kind of force them to pass, too.
Just under 7 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Cass Tech by 10. Game 1, we saw Denby overcome a 14-0 deficit. 4 wide receivers. The freshman Flemister in there. Needs a playmaker. He's going to call his own number here and get about 4 yards off left guard. Getting behind Ezekiel Bradley Lewis, the senior, and then the true freshman Jameer Henry, the talented left tackle.
John Baker coming in there and making that tackle, but you don't mind that play on first down. It keeps you on down and distance, which is something I'm huge about because it really opens up your playbook and allows you to do special things.
Yep. 2nd and 6. Look at that sideline. Not exactly Dante Moore where you can trust him to make all the calls as a senior. This is a young kid. Flemister looking right, and too tall, but a flag is drawn. It was tight coverage up that right sideline by Jalen Howell, and he might be getting busted for a PI.
Yeah, you see it again. They've let Flemister kind of let it loose, but every time he just throws it up there, and he's usually overthrowing his wide receiver. But there you see again, just getting that hand, tugging the jersey. That is going to be called every single time, even if the ball's not really even that close.
Yeah. So King has bounced back with 3 straight wins. But need to keep it rolling. 4 wins on the year. Needing to get into the playoffs and probably needing to win this game or the next game. There's a snap, and it hit Flemister in the face. He wasn't ready. It'll be a loss of 3 on the play back to the 42, and this is not a recipe for a comeback effort.
The center knows. He messed up there. Big number 66, who's had a pretty solid game, Jeremiah Powers. And it's been interesting to see how he snaps the ball. Have you noticed how he grips it on those shotguns? He holds the top of the ball. And you see it on almost every shotgun play, but it's most guys have their hand around the center so they can snap back a spiral. But watch him just grab the top of the ball. You see that?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just the tip. Handoff right side, running. And it's enough for the first down. That's Tayshawn Henry Johnson, who had the lone touchdown in the first matchup on a pass reception. And this is a nice moving, methodical drive by King.
And this is what King needs, coming out on here. It's 3rd and 8 right now, but they got to pick up the first down. But this has been a nice drive for them to get out of the shadow of their own end zone and kind of take control of the pace of this game.
My bad, they did get back to the original line of scrimmage. Josh Rogers is in there. We have not seen a lot of Rogers tonight. He's the other sophomore part of that combo. Throwback left side, caught and nowhere to go. Spinning back inside is no place to go when Cassius Shivers makes you shiver with a hit like that.
Yeah, he came up and absolutely laid the wood on that pose, young man. You deserve it. Just look at this, reading the screen pass, coming in and delivering the hit.
Stennis stopped short of the first down. An injury on the field, concern. We'll pause for a moment and step aside in downtown Detroit on a Friday night with 4:43 to go in the third and the Technicians leading by 10. This is Gridiron Game Day.
Christian, get up.
All right, game day don't start Friday. Let's get it, baby. Good job, boy.
Ready, go. Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McKinley scores! He is Sam Stick Day. My name is Chad Bush. Kara Wolfbauer on the sideline standing by as our sideline analyst. And right now, King is in a 4th and 7, and Stick, they are going to punt this thing away, or so it looks.
Yeah.
Nate Edwards is a quarterback, mind you.
And this is about the spot on the field where you would fake it if you could.
Definitely. 4th and 7. And Edwards boots a nice one to Sadler. He'll take it at the 9. Somehow split 2 defenders and get up to the 27. There's a flag that flies. And we'll see what that's all about.
Corey Sadler down holding his ankle. It looks more like a cramp, though. I've seen a couple people cramp, but watch this hezzy and then just take off.
Filthy.
He made 6 defenders miss on that play.
Not fair. It does look like a cramp. Corey has had some injury issues earlier this year, non-cramp related.
Yeah.
He was dinged up in Youngstown, Ohio in a game we did earlier this year against St. Joseph's Regional. Battling some injuries, but yeah, this is something that Cass is going to have to deal with. You do have a backup quarterback and a darn good one in Sendry, but with no number 1 out there, who Ty Spencer said we have to have eyes on him at every move he makes. They're watching him right now on the field with those cramps. They're so concerned about number 1.
Yeah, and that's going to be interesting to see what Ty Spencer does without number 1 on the field. Do you dial up the pressure? What do you do? Because if you get too far out of character, you may put yourself in a position to where another guy can make a big play. But we saw it earlier. There were 2 guys keying on him on every single play. So now you kind of got a free rover out there to have some fun with.
Yeah, that's right. There is a final in the KLAA, and the right to take on the number 1 team in the state, Belleville. It was Novi and Northville going at it. Northville was trying to stay perfect, and they do. And they've come away with a win, 21-14 in Novi. Well, the Technicians, PSL 9-4 year ago, semifinalists, 2,400 students in this school. It's a magnet school. 3-time state champions, back-to-back in 11 and 12, and again in 2016. Jordan Lewis, one of their esteemed alumni, University of Michigan, and doing great things with the Cowboys. He was a third-round pick in the 2017 draft. Special alum, Big Sean. Of course, Sean Anderson. Graduated in 06, multi-platinum recording artist, and he had a 3.7 GPA.
Unsurprising. He's smart man. Marketing, business-wise.
Great lyricist, performer. Hendricks in the backfield, and he's going nowhere. Well, with Sadler out, you mentioned it. Where would they key? Right now, they're keying in that backfield.
Yeah, I don't expect Sadler to be out too long if it's just a cramp. He's going to get some water and get right back in there. But still, I mean, it totally changes what the identity of Cass Tech is. And you see Sadler right there sitting on the bench, kind of stretching it out. Maybe retaping an ankle.
2nd and a dozen to go for Sendry and the technicians with 3:40 and a rolling clock in the 3rd. Up by 10. The blitz comes. Sendry has time, has a man. Caught! Down to the 42-yard line. Fine catch by Jalen Howell, who had to go up, but nobody around him, and Sendry delivered.
Yeah, fine catch, but an even better route. You see him go to the out route and then cut up, and it totally threw off the defender. The defender was trying to ride him all the way to the sideline, but he's able to get north and south for a big gain. And that's something that Sendry can bring to the table. He's got that passing prowess. As we look at Corey Sadler getting his right leg worked on.
Oh, man, that looks so good. I want that done to me tonight. Man. A little calf roll.
We'll ask Coach and see if he'll do that for you, too.
Oh, getting tired just looking at that. Handoff inside on 1st down, and that shut down quickly. I mean, come on, that's one of the best feelings in the world, getting a massage or getting, muscle cramps rolled out. Wyndham with a nice play defensively. 2nd down and long.
And if you're Cass Tech, I mean, you had some luck going to that 3-level passing system with Sendry as your quarterback. I would assume they're going to keep going back to that well. They haven't had a lot of success running the ball today.
No, they haven't. Not much. Couple of quick scorers. Davison, who's ranked highly in Division I, 35-21 leaders over Grand Blanc. Gibraltar Carlson, the Marauders, with a 2-point lead in the 3rd over Allen Park, the unbeaten Jaguars. Down in the battle of Downriver's dirtiest, going at it. Matt Schwartz should be in that game, right? We're talking about.
He's not Downriver, is he? He's Livonia.
Are you kidding? No. This guy's, yeah.
I thought you played at Livonia.
He did. He's since migrated downriver.
Yeah. No. You are where you're from, not where you live now.
They are who you think they are.
Yeah.
They were who we thought they were.
We let them off the hook.
Oh, we got a good crew tonight. Thanks for hanging out with us. 2nd and 15 from the 46. Sendry in there. Corey Sadler is out. And Sendry goes down at the 42. Oh, boy. Rontrez McLeod, 6'2", 265 with a sack. He's just a sophomore.
Looks like we had another Cass Tech player down with a cramp down here at the 23-yard line, but this is what we talked about. They're going to dial up the pressure and just bring it. And my gosh, he got swallowed. He disappeared when that happened.
The defensive end with all kinds of damage being done. Harper Woods with a 28-7 lead over Clarkston. Is that right? Doesn't seem right.
What the scoreboard says.
I don't trust that scoreboard. Seaholm with a 35-8 lead over Oak Park. It'll be Seaholm and Groves next week in the rivalry for the Battle of Birmingham. Avondale, who we covered last week, with a 49-19 lead over Pontiac and the Phoenix. And that's about it for the moment. Right now, the attention is on the injury at the 23 and the cramps we've seen at a high rate from both teams, not just in this game, but in the earlier game. But it happens a lot with this surface, surprisingly.
That's what I was just going to say. Do you think it's the turf that's causing this? It just like the extra use of the muscles? Because we've walked on there. It's spongy. It's a little bit different. When you're running on it, you're pushing off at a different rate.
It sure is. And this is one of their key players now.
Will Sykes.
Sykes is one of their explosives. So their two most explosive players, really, Sykes and Sadler, have been out of this game. And Corey Sadler is politicking with Marvin Rushing to get him back in the game. And I don't know if Marvin's going to let him. Yeah, he is. He says, okay, go ahead. You tell me you can go, go. 3rd down and 26. Is this something Sadler can solve?
Well, we've seen him break a 54-yarder, so, I mean, 36 doesn't seem that long.
Sure doesn't. Sadler 1 of 3 from the air tonight for 19 yards. Sendry 2 of 2 from the air tonight. Corey in at quarterback, empty set, 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Cass Tech, we're under a minute to go in the 3rd. They're up by 10. Trying to sweep the season series. They won 14-7 in week 4 at King. Sadler, pocket breaks down, running around, creating space and time. He throws, and it is nearly caught 3 times. 3 different technician receivers nearly caught this. And the most magician-like pass that only Sadler could complete.
I mean, it wouldn't even been close to a 1st down, but what an amazing play. First of all, avoiding the rush the way he is right here, and then having the frame of mind to be able to look down the field and see that he had a wide receiver open. He just launches the ball, and then 1, 2, 3 Cass Tech technicians had a chance to catch it, and none of them did.
Dante Dooley for King actually made that tip away to prevent that 3rd touch and catch. Good job to stay with it. Punting time, and Sanchez Murillo will come back out. And this is a low liner, and Ellington's going to take it aggressively at the 30 and get up to the 42-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds by Ellington. This is good field position for King.
Yeah, and King, you want to get back to establishing a drive. There's still a full quarter left to play, so you don't have to panic. You don't have to go outside of what your normal offense is. Just kind of get established of what you want to do on this drive. And they really haven't had a ton of success anywhere, so I can't really point to anything that they should turn to at this point. I mean, total plays, 38 plays, 113 yards. They're only averaging 3 yards a play.
Isn't that something? Handoff right side. This is Michael Dukes, and this is coming back thanks to holding. It was a solid run of about 6 or 7, but the old penalty flags have been a problem tonight, both ways. And we got another one here, partner.
Yeah, and that's always a little bit of the story when these teams play each other. But most of the time, it evens out at the end of the game because they both are physical teams. They both kind of play through the whistle sometimes. And then those mental mistakes creep in when you have a rivalry like this and you just want it so badly.
Trips to the right, 1 to the left. Flemister, the freshman, in the gun. And under pressure. And won't get away. He's suplex to the turf at the 24.
Jeremy Christian finally got him down to the ground, but 41, who once again we don't have on our call sheet here, this is the man who caused that havoc in the backfield.
Boy, is he big. That's the end of the quarter. We go to the 4th. Technicians by 10. King trying to hold on. King trying to fight for their playoff lives. And the defending back-to-back state champions come from behind. Can Cass hold on? We'll find out right after this. This is Gridiron Game Day, and we are the Prep.
Lowering the shoulder.
swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
Oh, 3, 2, 1. Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Welcome back here with us on the Prep with Gridiron Game Day. As we've been exploring the sidelines so far tonight, with the score being 17-7, King is slowly, it seems to be starting to kind of lose the vibes one piece at a time. Yet still over here with Cass Tech, I was walking past one of the players and I heard, this is where we take them home, this is where we sit them down. So Cass Tech's looking to walk away with the win tonight and looking to put it away. Guys.
Thanks, Kara. We'll see if they can put it down and put them away here. King drive, and they are in a tough spot. 2nd and 27 stick. Flemister, the freshman, in trouble. Breaks left, has some space, and now has one man to beat down the left sideline with a first down run. Needed 27. He got nearly 37. How about it?
Yeah, and what a patient run by him. I mean, watch this right here. Nothing there. Okay, I'm going to poke over here. Nothing there. I'm going to come back here. Nothing there. Okay, I'm going to go up the middle and get 50 yards on this run. And that's been the most success that they've had all game long, is Flemister getting his legs going.
Official gain of 37 on the play for the freshman, his longest run tonight. You recall he had a 25-yard run for a touchdown earlier. So on a 2nd and 27, they get it. More to come. Flemister, right side, caught, gain of a couple. Not much. Catch is made by David Calmisi.
And I got to say, this is a great throw by Flemister, too. It's right in rhythm. Calmisi's able to catch that with all his momentum going towards the line of scrimmage. Only able to pick up 4 yards, but that's still an on-target, nice throw by your freshman quarterback.
Sure was. Shivers, who's back healthy this week, coming up from a safety spot to make that tackle. 2nd down and 7 from the 36 in the opening minute of the 4th quarter. King trying to rally. Flemister in trouble, gets it away and nearly threw it away. There's a flag down from deep in the secondary. We'll see what this is all about.
Looks like defensive holding, but that is a tough call against Cass Tech, because that wasn't even anywhere near the play. The quarterback's rolling towards the sideline, and sometimes that jersey just stretches and you get called.
Indeed, that's the call. And so a first down. King needs points on this drive.
Well, that's a big play, getting them a first down on that play, especially because there was not a lot going on for King. So kind of a gift from Cass Tech.
King will go empty on 1st and 10 in motion. Keeper, Flemister, outside the numbers, and he can't get all the way outside. He'll get to about the 20, gain of about 5 or 6. It's a healthy gain on first down.
Flemister's looking real good on that RPO option that they're giving him. And look at that. He reads the defensive end, sees that he can get up the middle, and he is showing some elusiveness on getting to the outside.
He is. Sense of urgency on this King drive that we haven't really seen offensively yet. They'll stay empty. They will give this time. The handoff. And it's a gain maybe of 1. It's to Deontay Ellington, the talented return man and the 10th grader. And it's not for much.
Yeah, Derek Jackson making sure that play did not go far. But back to Flemister. We talked about this last year with Corey Sadler when he was out there performing at the highest level in high school football here in Michigan. I think you think about it, he was in 8th grade last year. Imagine the competition that he was going up against, and now with Flemister, you're starting to see it too. Imagine this kid in 8th grade last year.
Right. No, this is Cass and King at its finest, and the fact that we'll see these two for at least a couple more years going head-to-head, or you would hope or think, is exciting. Ellington On the fake give, Flemister will keep it. He's down inside the 15. Did he have enough for the first down? He does. Move the chains again. And the most productive drive of the football game for King thus far.
Yeah, nice fake handoff. Way to read again, and then just the ability to get outside. And, you know, this hasn't been big plays, but methodical plays in 52. If you're going to jump off sides, that's how you jump off sides.
Yeah, with authority. Is that Gavin Fernandez again?
I was told Gavin Fernandez is actually wearing 41, so I'm not sure who 52 is because he's listed as Gavin Fernandez. But either way, he got all his 5 yards worth on that play.
Yeah. So, timeout on the field. We'll keep it right here. The game is over in Orchard Lake, and the other game that we called tonight between the Eaglets and Brother Rice. Is it a 41-0 final? Try to get a final on that. 41-7. Final there. Thank you, Matt Schwartz. Got 1,000 live viewers right now. Boy, are we thankful for that.
Yeah, make sure if you're watching right now, you like and subscribe. Got tons of games, and it's not only football. We did the PSL Championship in basketball. We did a lot of basketball playoffs last year, soccer, volleyball. The prep is all over.
Thanks, man. Glad you're a part of it, and a big part of it. Timeout is over. 1st and 10 from the 15. King itching to get into the end zone. They led 7-0 in this game all the way back at the 7-minute, 53-second mark when Daryl Flemister went 25 yards for a touchdown. Flemister trying to lead him to the end zone here. Reverse left side. Touchdown, King! Into the end zone. Kayvon Matthews, the senior wideout, with a jet sweep reverse touchdown. And King ain't going anywhere. They're right back in this thing.
Yeah, what a great call by Coach Ty Spencer here, an end around it. I want you to pay attention to one man at the top of your screen, too. You're going to see number 7, Stennis, get his block, the final block, and a pancake block. This will be a great angle of it to get into the end zone. You're about to see it right there.
Oh, that's a finish.
Great things happen when wide receivers block.
Oh, a thing of beauty. So, extra point is up and good. So, with 9:35 to go, the King drive. What an answer. They're in for the touchdown, and the Crusaders have cut it to 3, 17-14. Here's another look at the touchdown run by Kayvon Matthews, a 15-yard run. 7 plays, 58 yards. It took 2 minutes and 53 seconds. And it's Kayvon Matthews with a rushing touchdown, and the extra point, good by Terrence Moore.
And that was like a perfect boxing round, right? You kept using your quarterback on the RPO, little body shot, little body shot, little body shot. And then once the defense starts paying attention to the quarterback so much, you hand it off on a sweep, and you're able to get the edge. Like, that was great play calling. It was set up perfectly. And now King got to feel really good about where they're standing.
Tallies right now offensively. King is outgaining Cass Tech 171-104. First downs, King is outgaining Cass Tech 13-5. And on the ground, most of this with the last drive, they've outgained Cass Tech on the ground 140-78. And in the air, King 8 of 18 for the ball game, and Cass Tech just 3 of 6 in the ball game through the air. There's a loose ball down inside the 25, and the return a short one, nowhere to go that time for Will Sykes. Well covered by King, who looks to have changed the momentum a bit.
I mean, that's 2 bullets that that Cass Tech has dodged on these kickoffs and punts. That was another one that very easily could have gotten away from him. You saw Corey Sadler drop one earlier, too. So those special teams play, you never know. Those are big momentum shifts.
Corey Sadler back out there. You see him chatting with Cassius Shivers. Seth Sendry on the sideline right now. And so now we'll see this technician offense and how they respond. And how healthy is C.J. Sadler? We'll send Hendricks, the freshman, to his right.
Single coverage at the bottom of the screen.
Sadler takes it himself. Gain of about 3. But when he puts his foot in that ground, boy, there's just a holding of the breath that happens collectively in the stadium.
Yeah. And you can tell those cramps are really bothering him trying to stretch that out right now. Marquise White made a great play on that last possession because we know Corey Sadler's tough to bring down. And if you can do it with one man, that's a feat.
Yep. Detroit King needing to win this game really to clinch a playoff berth or win next week against the elite Cincinnati Moeller Club. They don't want to have to wait till next week. Cass Tech is in. Reverse. Handoff. And is that Howell? It is. It's number 8 Howell on the reverse. Tackled by Marquise White. Another fine play by Mr. White.
Yeah, Cass Tech looked to be a good play there until number 8, Jalen Howell, ran in to his own lineman, and that kind of set the whole play back. But I thought that was going to go for at least another 3 to 4 yards.
King crowd getting into it. There you see it. Big third down here. 3rd and 5. Both sides on their feet. Big play in this ball game with under 8 minutes to go. And Cass Tech by 3. The green guys with the rock. And we'll see what they do with Sadler at quarterback here. And it looks like a delay of game, and it is.
Those are the type of mental errors you cannot have in a game like this. King already has a little bit of momentum on their side. The crowd started to get into it, and what do? A delay of game. That can't happen. Luckily, you have the athletes that can make up that 5 yards, but you still don't want to keep putting yourself in that type of position.
No, sir. The fans really getting into it here. You see the Crusaders. Sideline warning. They'll reset the play clock. Almost said shot clock.
We're almost there.
We're almost there.
Almost to basketball season.
It's almost cruise season and high school basketball season. And, of course, the Detroit Pistons play just down the street.
Yeah, how awesome is this to be at Ford Field for this game?
It's back where it belongs, that's for sure. So 3rd down and 10 from their own 23, and a critical 3rd down opportunity for the King defense and the Cass offense. Sadler, left side, bounces outside, has running room, across the 50 down to the 45-yard line. You know it's going to stay with number 1, and it didn't matter. He's got a 1st down and a lot more.
And that's the same exact play that he scored the touchdown at. Watch, you're going to watch the guard and the tackle pull around his lead blockers. And once you get to that point, I mean, it's just a matchup game, and luckily they were able to push him out of bounds.
32-yard run for number 1. And his numbers single-handedly leading this offense. He has 92 of the 116 yards on the ground tonight for Cass Tech.
And he's cramping. Don't forget that, too. So he's out there doing it not 100%.
That should be noted. Just the 6th 1st down of the game for King, or for Cass Tech rather. King with twice that amount, 13. Handoff, Hendricks, and Hendricks is going to get a face mask, pull down, and this is going to be a big gain, 15 yards on the penalty. And it'll set up Cass to the 30.
Yeah, there were 2 flags thrown on the play. I believe they're both for the same face mask, but we will find out. Personal foul. Yep, both the same call. I didn't know if one was for holding, one was a face mask. We're going to have offsetting. But that's honestly been the best rushing play for Cass Tech, besides the quarterback keeper.
It has been. So this has been a drive that Cass Tech has kept on the ground. Again, it's been Corey Sadler exclusively on this drive. Tight right in the slot. And the run left side is for nothing. And a fine defensive play. The bottom of that pile, Xavier Newsom, whose name we've called repeatedly, the 6'5", 220 junior, ultra talented, Power 5 offers. We've seen why.
Yeah, you see that on his back. You see it says dog, and that's exactly what he's been today. Just a dog out there on defense, making big plays, constantly crashing down from that defensive end position. He's been a pleasure to watch today.
King coming off a 49-6 win over Southeastern last week, but a different animal tonight in Ford Field. Fletcher led the way with 7 tackles and a sack. Sadler pressured, runs out of it, and he gets back near the original line of scrimmage at the 30. It's going to be 3rd down and long.
Yeah, and if I'm coaching Corey Sadler right now and I'm saying on these plays, just try to stay in bounds. Slide right there, stay in bounds. Let's work this clock a little bit because that's going in our favor. Not trying to run down the clock, but I'm also not trying to, prevent it either.
That's right. Want to thank our hardworking crew for this doubleheader, captained by Alex Westfall, your executive producer. Evan Westfall on replay, David Fantow on graphics. Matthew Schwartz, the Schwarzenator, on the audio. Chris Armani Rose. He's been the hardest working man in the field tonight. Handoff left side to the 28 before a smoke shot by Dante Dooley coming up from that cornerback spot. The carries by Jalen Spates, the junior running back. It's 4th down, and we'll see what Cass Tech does here. You'd think it's 4-down territory. Again, George Murillo Sanchez had a 44-yard field goal earlier this year. Outdoors against the wind. Not saying that's the right call here, but at least it's part of the discussion perhaps. They're going for it. Was a nice thought. 4th and 8 from the 28. Sadler steps up, throws, got a man, caught inside the 10, down inside the 5, and it's the aforementioned Will Sykes Jr., the athletic, gifted, talented playmaker.
Yeah, and he's had a heck of a game on the defensive end. He's had a heck of a game on special teams, and now peeking his head out on offense as well. And Corey Sadler right there sitting in the pocket. Great protection by the Cass Tech line, giving him time, letting that play develop downfield. Now you got a whole set of downs, plus you can keep working that clock.
24-yard pitch and catch. Sadler's
he said, no, Coach, we don't need a touchdown right now. Corey's trying to wave off rushing. I don't think that's ever going to work.
All right, we'll take a timeout from Detroit at Ford Field. Just under 5 to go. Don't go anywhere. Cass Tech by a field goal.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McGinley scores! Chad and Stick back with you. Hey, there we are. We're up here. This is the crew. And what a treat it is to be in a big-time booth. Handoff left side, touchdown. Carson Lovett, the sophomore, drives it in. And the technicians are an extra point away from going back up by double digits.
That play almost seemed like a little too easy for Cass Tech. I mean, you know you're focusing on number one, making sure that he doesn't pull that down and run it behind. But he wasn't even touched till he was in the end zone. Look at the big nasties get out there, number 55 and 50 for Cass Tech. That's Justin Wilson. And then, of course, Canty there, making sure they're pushing their guys out of the way. And when the big fellas got it like that, it's tough to stop.
Yeah, that's a big left tackle in Khalif Canty. One of the better offensive linemen up front. Extra point up and good. Technicians back up by 10. Here's a summary of that scoring drive. 8 plays, 77 yards. The best drive and the most productive of the night. 4 minutes, 44 seconds. Carson Lovett, the sophomore, with a touchdown, 4-yard run. Extra point by Sanchez Murillo is good. So, they put the pressure right back. Cass Tech answers after the Kings score. And also doing it with Sadler that wasn't quite fully healthy. Stick, an impressive drive.
Yeah, not only did he beat you with his legs on that long to get that first down, but the arm strength on that throw to number 13, Will Sykes, was pretty amazing. And that was probably their best complete offensive play of the game because the offensive line blocked. They gave Sadler time. He was able to set his feet. He threw a strike. Sykes caught it, got him down inside the 5-yard line, and then able to punch it into what could be the winning touchdown of this game.
We'll see how the Crusaders come back. Again, they're really in desperation mode, needing to win one of their 2 final games to get in to the state playoffs. It's a pooch kick by George, taken up across the 40. No hesitation, and Damon Stennis, a guy who King's going to have to rely on to make some big plays here, get some good field positioning to the 40.
Yeah, King has a lot to look at on their last drive, though. They played really well getting that ball into the end zone. The RPO was probably their strongest point. And there's still a lot of time in this game. You get a quick score here. You still don't even have to use all your timeouts. You can still get a stop on defense and get the ball back. So King is very important. They get a score here, obviously, but it needs to be a quick score.
Yep. Darrell drops back and fights to get back to the line of scrimmage. And avoiding that Cass Tech pressure up front that's been relentless, especially in the second half.
And another great play by 41, who I'm told is Kevin Fernandez. But you see him right there taking on his blockers and knocking over the runner.
Loss of 1 on the play. It'll be called a sack. Flemister throws, caught near midfield. Catch made by Deontay Ellington, and it's a solid gain up near midfield to the 49-yard line. Gain of 9 on the play, 3rd and 2.
I like how Ellington gets up and gives the first down signal. Not quite, but
Close.
I like the enthusiasm.
Oh. On a 3rd and short, trying to get away from Noah Bishop is just a challenge. Nothing there for Dukes. There is a flag down.
Looks like a face mask against Cass Tech. I don't think that was Noah Bishop on that face mask. It must have come from somebody else.
Yeah, King will take it.
Yeah, King will take everything. 15 yards while the clock is stopped right now, that's huge.
11 penalties for 96 yards for Cass Tech, and there you see it.
Oh, you didn't even need to do that, too, on number 4, Cassius Shivers. That's tough.
Still a 10-point lead for Cass. Flemister throws, sideline, caught. Was he in bounds? The official went down, the sticks went down. It's incomplete, and the official's up with a little bit of help from his friends.
She is, she's shaking it off.
She?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you're right, and that's a great effort to get her up. And we hope she's okay. We need officials.
And man, what a hit, too. I don't think I've seen a pylon holder get hit like that in a long time.
Well, this was close to being completed. Let's take a look at this play. Almost got completed where the feet in bounds stick. Just needs one, and then there's the collision. And, hey, look.
I need to see that back in slow motion because it looked like he was dragging 1 foot in bounds.
Well, let's see what Evan Westfall could muster up. That index finger's getting tired down there.
Well, I just want to see if his foot was in bounds because it looked like he was dragging it, and you saw some of the black tire pop up.
You just want to see how tough that official is.
There's the
withstanding that hit.
There's the added bonus of that, but I really wanted to see if he was in bounds or not. Here we go. And can we get it in slow motion at the end? Now watch his left foot. Right?
It's close.
It's
just out.
It was just out. And then that happened.
That was not just out. That was way out, that hit. And now is the official okay? They are waiting. This is a really classy move. Both teams being patient.
Yes.
And our official is up, I believe, and ready to rock.
If not, we'll send Pat the stat down there, and he will run sidelines.
Yeah. Oh, we got a reserve official maybe coming in now. Okay. Well, a little talking to. Make sure there's no concussion. Now, you know you're in Detroit, right?
Who are you? I'm Batman.
Oh, man.
Remember that Snickers commercial?
Yes. Yes.
It's one of the greatest Snickers commercials of all time.
All right. We're set. We hope the official's just fine. 5 wide. Flemister in a 2nd and 10. Throwing downfield. Got a man caught inside the 5. Oh, a dime piece laid out beautifully to Ellington. And the Crusaders are in business. Deep in technician land.
Well, what did we talk about? If they're going to score, it's got to be fast so they have a chance to get the ball back and stay in this game. And Flemister, we know, has that arm strength. We saw him throw it 60 yards earlier in the game. That one was on the spot.
42-yard BB from the freshman Flemister. Here's how it all went down. Wow.
What a great pocket that his offensive line created for him, able to step up and throw it. Big number 81 letting them know.
Timeout on the field. Don't go anywhere. 3 minutes left of the most fun you'll ever have on a Friday night. We're back after this. Welcome back to Ford Field. Chat and stick with you. Carol Wolfbauer standing by. We'll have some words from her shortly. Flemister out of the pocket, rolling right, band playing, horse collar, throwing, no flag.
Wow. I am surprised they did not call a flag on that. That is almost the definition of a horse collar tackle.
John Baker IV, also who doubles on that basketball team for Steve Hall. With a fine play defensively to range to the sidelines. It looked like it might have been a horse collar. Can we see that one again?
Yeah, it looked like he may have grabbed the front of the shoulder pad and was able to pull him back like that.
Well, we'll check it out in a minute. Right now, King knocking on the doorstep and a second down and goal from the 6. Flemister, down he goes at the 15-yard line. Fernandez again having some fun on that defensive front.
He has played a heck of a game. And what just happened, there's a penalty. And Cass Tech is not too happy about this.
Here's another look at it. Post-penalty play.
Defensive holding on Cass Tech. So new life.
Defensive holding will make it an automatic first down, I believe, or no, not in this game.
No, you get your 5 yards at the high school level.
Okay, so they'll mark it down to the 3. And it'll be second down and 3 from the goal. The clock is running, 2.5 minutes left. King down by 10. Flemister, the freshman, trying to lead him back. Inside handoff and nowhere to go for the sophomore talented back Dukes, the third.
Yeah, Derek Jackson crashing down and making sure that he gets the hit for the tackle for a loss. Watch him crash down right here, come through the line. Great, great team football right there. Number 22, Marvin McCullum, getting up, letting them know, no, not today.
Derek Jackson rising from that safety spot to secure it. A lot of time ticking away. 3rd and 4. 2 timeouts for King. They got to save him here. Wildcat pass into the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown King. Kayvon Matthews is second of the ball game. It was a Wildcat pass.
I don't even think that was a Wildcat. So if you go back and watch this play, the guy in motion comes up and takes the snap. So it's a fake Wildcat. He wasn't lined up at quarterback. He was lined up at running. Ben Johnson, if you're watching somewhere, he did the snap between the legs last week. This is something I want to see the Lions put in on Sunday.
Extra point. This is a big one, and it is good. So how about it? Michael Dukes takes the snap in the Wildcat-ish and throws a touchdown pass for a touchdown. Wow, Kayvon Matthews' second score of the game. And don't look now, Kings within 3 with $1:41 to go.
What a creative play by Ty Spencer there. And you know that's something that they practice. I mean, we talked about it. It looked like a Wildcat, but it wasn't a Wildcat, but it's okay because it worked out in the end. It doesn't matter, but that's the type of football I love to see. This is evolution of the game. He reaches in front of the quarterback. You think for sure that is a run 100% of the time when the running back gets the direct snap like that. Rarely do you ever see them hop over and do a little jump pass, which is also a throwback.
There's a lot, Stick, that has to go right for that play to work timing-wise.
Yes.
And it all went just perfectly. And King is within a field goal. Now, 1:41 to go. You have 2 timeouts. Is there enough time to try to kick this thing away and try to get stops?
That would be my game plan. My defense has played tough all game long. You know, you're putting them in a position. But also, we saw it earlier in the Denby game. A couple of onside kicks could have gone Denby's way.
So we'll see what they do here. King will kick it pooch style and hope for a lack of return. It's Corey Sadler. And he is going to have a lack of a return inside the 20 to the 18. Oh, what a job of containing by Arnez Garrett, the sophomore linebacker.
Yeah, Arnez Garrett. We talked about Corey Sadler all game long. Him in space like that, to be able to track him and just hit him square and take him to the ground. That's a special play.
So King led this game 7-0. Cass Tech would come back and take a lead at the break of 14-7. The lead would get increased to 17-7 in the third quarter. And this thing would get back to 24-14 before King answers here with a touchdown. Let's take a look at that King scoring drive. It was 3 plays, 17 yards, and a touchdown. All right. There's a flag down, and this is a solid gain of 7 by Hendricks, but it's going to be wiped out with a penalty.
And that is one of the worst things that can happen to Cass Tech right now. Really, all you need is 1 first down, and this game is over. But now you're going to be starting out if this is a holding penalty or even an illegal procedure. Yeah, illegal shift, illegal motion. So you're looking at a 5-yard penalty. Now you're at 1st and 15, and time ran off the clock.
And it stops the clock, I believe, with 90 seconds left without having to use a timeout.
Still first down.
Yep.
That's a big penalty right there, because that was a heck of a run on first down.
There you see the brain trust of the King Crusaders, led by Ty Spencer, their offensive coordinator Terrell Patrick, and their co-defensive coordinators Matt Johnston. Run up the middle, and a pile still moving up to about the 19 with our whistle this thing dead. Gain of about 2 or 3. Timeout King.
They called a timeout with 1:15 left on the clock. Saying maybe another 5-7 seconds for the other play. That takes you down to 1:08, and then 40-second runoff. So you're looking at getting the ball back with 30 seconds left if you could stop them here.
Tough predicament, but King would love just to get in that predicament. So we saw Denby come from behind in the first matchup. Denby trailed by 14 points to Detroit Central. They come all the way back, tie it at 28-all with 30 seconds left. Elected to kick an extra point, something they had not done much of all season and hadn't done any of tonight, and they got the win. Now it's King trying to come back. They've been down 10 twice. They've cut it to 3. Stick in a 2nd and 7 now defensively. They've got Cass Tech. I mean, this could be the ball game if there's a first down converted by the technicians. They'd love nothing more than to spoil the season of their rival from the Boulevard.
And this is why we play the game. You know, you can throw out records when these two teams get together. It doesn't matter the location. It's going to be a tight game no matter where, when, or how these teams play.
That's right. So, Sadler in a quarterback. He's left this game at times with cramps. He's come back. Corey Sadler's been fabulous. 8 rushes for 100 yards and a touchdown. Passing the ball 2 of 5 with a touchdown. And receiving, he's had 1 catch in this game. Hasn't made as much of an impact there, but it's really been the ground game with Sadler that's been so effective. We'll see if he can continue that here on 2nd and 7. 1 timeout left for King. Motion, Sadler turns, couldn't find his running back. Miscommunication. I think that was an error.
It was definitely an error. That ball got snapped before Corey Sadler was expecting it. Luckily, he was able to catch it, but that hit him right in the stomach. And he just kind of looked to hand it off, and nobody was around. Look, he's not even looking when that ball is snapped.
More athleticism just for him to get that thing caught. Jelani Walker is the center that snapped it. So that's the final timeout. It all comes down to this. A 3rd down and 6 from their own 21. This is where championships are won right here, Stick.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you need one first down to seal it, and if you're King, you need one stop to get the ball back. This is what you practice for. This is what two-a-days in August are about. This is just, why we play the game.
Don't forget, after the ball game, we'll have our G of the game, sponsored by G Brand USA.
And if it's Cass Tech, Corey Sadler is going to add to his, 5 G of the game hats that he has?
He might have a few on that mantle.
Yes, sir.
Starting to pile up. The script has yet to be written. This game's still in flux with 1:10 to go. But this is what it's come down to, a 3rd and 6. If Cass gets it, the game's over. King gets a stop, there's life.
And there's a decision to make. Do you try to go for it on 4th down or not?
That well? Yeah, you're right. You never know. Who knows how this play will develop. 3 to the right, nobody to the left. Sadler will send Cameron Summerhour to his left. Corey's going to keep it, and he's going to go down. No timeouts. This thing will wind all the way down to about 38 seconds before they're going to have to run it. And it's been the very active Jaden Wyndham, the safety, with a fine play. This is a good-looking sophomore.
I was going to say, it's tough to believe that this kid's a sophomore, the way he crashed down like that. Was able to lay the hit and knock Corey Sadler off balance. But a huge play.
Cass will let this thing run all the way down as low as it'll go as we look again at the Sadler play. Thanks to Wyndham.
I think Cass Tech is just going to be happy to take the delay of game at this point.
They will. This clock is going to run all the way down to under 20 seconds. Is that right? My goodness, how long is the play clock?
There's your delay of game and your extra 5 yards.
So it would take a miracle now.
Well, a lot of things can happen on a punt, too. I mean, we've seen Cass Tech have some struggles with that. Their punter has had to make some moves to get it off. Now there's punt returns. There's a lot of things that can go into this.
Let me ask you, do you take a safety here?
I like that play if you can run around the end zone and waste enough time, but in the end, you still are giving the ball back. But Corey Sadler can waste a lot of time.
Well, they wanted to take the safety, but a penalty came first instead.
But it looks like it's on King.
It is on King. It will not change the thing, though. They still need 10 yards, so it doesn't change a ton.
I believe that resets the play clock, though.
It may. We shall see if they do restart it.
You see Coach Rushing celebrating, and I don't think he'd be celebrating anything unless he knew it was all over.
Well, they're going to have to snap it. And Sadler's going to run back in the end zone, waste some time, and keep running, play keep away. And finally, he goes down. But there's 3 seconds left. So Cass does take it. A little bit of a dangerous play, and that if that ball comes out, I mean, there's some risk involved there.
That is a lot of time to kill on one play. But now you get the kickoff, so that's going to run off a couple seconds, perhaps the end of the game there.
Yeah.
And you're leaving them with one play, and it may be a Hail Mary from 60 yards.
Yep. There you see the Cass Tech faithful on the verge of erupting into celebration, trying to sweep their rival Detroit King and trying to win back-to-back Detroit Public School League titles in the Blue Division.
That kind of reminds me a little bit of that Cass A&T game that we called last year, that first game of the season. They got the safety, but the safety ended up working in the favor of the other team because they were able to get the ball back. I don't know. It's an interesting call. It worked. I think it's creative, but now you got to execute on this end as well. Expect this to be a kickoff with probably 17 laterals.
Yeah, now the other option is to call a fair catch and have no time roll off. You would think a squib would be in motion here.
Yeah, but even then, if you pick it up with your knee down, there's no time running off the clock, maybe a second. If you just cover a squib, because you're down immediately in high school.
We'll see what happens.
Matt Schwartz arguing with us over here about what to do.
Well, he's testy. Yeah, John Glenn lost last week, and he's still not. He's been cranky since. So 3 seconds left to kick from their own 20. It'll be George Sanchez Murillo to boot it. Back deep is Ellison. Now, this could wind up out of bounds and be real trouble for Cass, and it will. So this is out of bounds, and George Rushing is upset. Did you see? Wow. Marvin Rushing is livid. The one thing Cass did not want was a kick to go out of bounds, but it did. And now King gets the choice to take it 15 yards ahead or to take it from where they mark it down. I mean, Marvin Rushing is just furious, and I don't blame him. There's one thing you can't do. Who is that?
And that is mess with that guy in the bottom left of the screen.
My goodness. I mean, Marvin Rushing's hot. And I don't blame him.
So they are going to make them re-kick from the 15.
Huh. All right.
Instead of taking the ball at the 40.
Well, let's see what happens here. The plot thickens. And Murillo Sanchez saying, look, what do you want me to do now? I'm kicking off from almost my end zone.
Yeah. Just kind of want to kick it on the ground right up the middle.
Here we go. 3 seconds left. It is a squib, and that's going to go out of bounds potentially again. King's going to get it with 1 second left.
No, pass recovered.
Well, let's wait for the official call.
Now the officials are throwing the pass back on their own sideline. It is King ball.
It is King ball, and there's 1 second left.
So we'll have time for a Hail Mary.
Yes, we will.
And because of that penalty, this is now a 45-yard pass instead of a 60-yard pass.
That's right. The game that'll never end. And here's a look at it. This thing was destined for the sidelines, which would have put it back even further. It was finally recovered by Josh Rogers. So here we go. The game's final play, unless there's a defensive penalty, is happening here and now. Flemister at quarterback, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. He'll have no running backs to protect him.
And you know Flemister's got the arm to get it to the end zone.
Yep.
He could throw it through the end zone.
Here we go. Final play for the city title. Flemister outrunning the defensive line. Will have one clean throw, and it is caught to the 10, inside to the 8, and the ball game is over. A pass that was completed got inside the 10, and this ball game ends with a Cass Technician celebration. The Blue Division champions of the city, the Technicians are. It was a Hail Mary that had a chance. Flemister threw it a bit flat, gave his team a chance, but in the end, this ball game ends fittingly in a 1-point deciding margin.
Woo! Chad, it has been a great night of football. The Public School League has put on 2 tremendous games here, both the crowds for each team. And you see head coach Marvin Rushing with his crew right there, telling them to take a knee, settle down. We're going to discuss this, and we're going to shake hands as men. But here's a look at that last play. Flemister, what more can you say about his elusiveness here?
Man.
When he did this, you thought for sure it was at least going to get in the end zone. Goes up, makes the catch, and then just good gang tackling. David Clemisi had a chance to get it into the end zone, but just couldn't do it, 5 yards short. And that's how we're going to end it here in Ford Field. What other way could you end it here at Ford Field?
Oh, what a treat to watch these two teams perform. Both games have been fabulous. Congratulations to the Cass Tech technicians, the champions of the city of Detroit and the PSL. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back with our G of the game. Take a guess. We're back with number 1 and Wolfbauer right after this.
Every morning when I rise, my dream lives in me. This is my kingdom, a wonder world that's always changing, where great champions stand victorious. Here, we celebrate what makes us different. We share our creativity, and we grow stronger, preparing for the world we will make together.
I am.
I am.
I am one of Detroit's next legends. It's our time to rise.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
4 wide receivers. Pressure, steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And now we're back with our G of the game presented by G Brands USA. You can see his hat right here, and that's right, you guessed it, Corey Sadler Jr., our G of the game tonight. First of all, Blue Championship, you guys walked away with the win tonight right here at Ford Field. Tell me about your emotions.
I'm just excited, man. My team pulled this through. We pulled this through together. We stuck in there. We hung in there. Defense played great. Offensive line played great. The whole team, whole coaching staff. And, man, we came out with a win.
And how's it feel, too? Cass Tech really showed up and showed out tonight with the crowd. Cheerleaders, dancers, everybody came in to support the community tonight. How's it feel to see them and know that you were such an integral part of that win?
I love my supporters. I don't call them fans. I call them supporters, because they come up every game. They loud. We got the most people. It's just intense, man. This is what we dream of. Like, just doing this at a young age, high school level, it just feels good.
Well, congratulations. Go cheer with your team now. Thanks so much, Corey. We'll send it back up to the guys in the booth. Our G of the game. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Kara. Appreciate it. Congratulations to Corey Sadler Jr. Got a collection of G of the game hats. He's got more than you do, Stick.
And that's all right. He does a lot more than I do. I get to sit up here and enjoy that young man playing football. But look at head coach rushing in the middle of it. Arms folded, mean scowl on his face. So happy for him right now. The intensity that he brings, and you could see it with his kids on the field too. He is a great coach, what he's instilled with Cass Tech. And just to have these guys perform at this level on this stage, it's got to be something special for not only him, but the entire school. And they put on for the entire city, always.
Yep. They get a sweep of their rival, Detroit King, perhaps knock them out of the playoffs. To be determined there, but nonetheless, we got the numbers tonight. But the biggest number is Cass Tech 24, King 23. Corey Sadler with 85 yards rushing tonight, 2 touchdowns, 1 throwing, 1 rushing. Numbers also in this game that tell the story. Seth Sendry with a touchdown reception from Corey Sadler. That was the other touchdown. On offense, Stick, it was King outgaining Cass Tech in the contest, 260 yards to 165 yards. Your thoughts on this ball game tonight?
Yeah, Martin Luther King played a heck of a game. A couple plays here and there, and everything changes. And you just said that guy that we highlighted, Corey Sadler, is a difference maker. And when you got him on your team, he can break down plays. He can make that 3rd and 26 turn into something special. And as you run down that stat sheet, you see if you presented this to the Martin Luther King coaching staff and say, hey, this is what's going to happen between. We're not going to tell you the score. Will you take this? They would gladly take this.
Now, King did get some nice production from the freshman Daryl Flemister III. 67 yards on 12 attempts. Also in the air, 11 for 21 for 120. But the ball game goes to Cass Tech. Want to thank our hardworking crew for this outstanding effort tonight. Alex Westfall, your executive producer. Evan Westfall on replay. David Fantow on graphics. Christian Jackson's on audio and in camera tonight, doing it all. David Forrest on a camera. Kyle Buchanan on the tight follow. Matt Schwartz on audio and camera. Chris Armani Rose on a camera. CP3, Craig Patterson on a parabolic. Sam Stick Day on color. Carol Wolfbauer on sidelines. Your stat crew tonight, Austin Sonnenberg and Pat Bush. Great job by everybody. Thank you so much. My name is Chad Bush, saying so long, and congratulations to Detroit Denby, who wins at 29-28. And in this one-point finish, it's Cass Tech 24, Detroit King 23. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great night, everybody. So long.